Friedman Adventures live, and I am so thrilled to be here. There's a lot of noise going on outside because the Amigo just got in. I had a friend on board. I'll get you up to date on the outstanding trip that they just had. We've got a studio audience tonight. Darren Dohe is here. Hey, put your head in here and say hello to everybody.
Hey everybody, I'm here.
All right, Darren Dohe. It's great. And of course, we've got these two gentlemen here tonight. And I'm telling you, I'm so excited, and so is everybody else. Brian Nguyen and Moon Nguyen. And you guys, I'll tell you.
Not related.
Yes. Oh, you want to make that clear?
Not related.
Yeah. How about you? Are you worried about that?
What's that?
Being related to him?
No, he's my brother from another mother, but this is very true.
So these two gentlemen, everybody, I mean, Brian here, I mean, I have like this much knowledge after being in this business for 50 years. This guy, he'd mow me down. And that's why he's here, because I get to ask him questions. And Moon, you have the reputation of being, what, one of the best rod wrappers, not only in California, but perhaps in the country. What do you think? Is that?
I'd say so. I'd say so.
He gave me,
I've used the term legendary, which he doesn't like, but yeah. Sorry.
Why don't you like legendary? I love it when people say that, except I feel like I'm going to drop dead at any moment, you know? And that's a possibility, let me tell you. All right, a bunch of guys are saying hello. Let's catch up on that, and then I got to get to some sponsors, and then we are into the show. All right. And it's going to be a good one, I'll tell you that. All right, Slam and Sammy's just happy to be here. First time where I can now catch this live. Hell yeah. So Cheech and Lo, he's on there. Judy Chen, anybody know her?
I do.
Judy says hello.
All right.
All right, the weight loss guy, he says hi. Dan Smith, going to be good. Of course it's going to be good because you two guys are here. That's why it's going to be good.
So. Yeah.
Catlin Young says hi. Sophie Wong, hi Brian. 540 Slinger, that's Jeff Yeomans. He says good evening to Brian and Moon.
Right.
And conspicuously leaves me out of it. Thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate that. And the weight loss guy says, I'm going out of 22nd Street Landing tomorrow for a 6:30 to noon if anybody wants to join me. I think that's the Monte Carlo. And you might know by now because I've already put up an interview from today. Brian was here, Brian Burrell. I think I'm going to burp or something. Brian Burrell was here, and they've got 2 tanks of live squid on the Monte Carlo. So I'm predicting limits of at least sand bass tomorrow. That should be good. Nice. And Darren Dohe, you know that guy? Yeah, he's even commenting. Well, I don't know why he just doesn't say something. How cool is it here to be here watching this live? Our studio audience! We're going to have to hire somebody to control the crowd out there. Yeah, it's only Darren, but sometimes he gets a little wild. All right, let me thank a few people. Opson USA, that's www.opsonusa.com. Put in FA at checkout, and Greg Brown will write you a love note and send you a free gift. Daiwa, of course, we love Daiwa. You're friends with Greg Johnson, right?
What's up, Greg?
All right, Greg Johnson, and we thank them for providing us with so many great raffle prizes and so much more. And of course, they are the ones who provide some pretty darn good tackle. Would you agree?
We sure do.
Yeah, all right. Blacktail Hooks. Sky is out there, and Sky. You know Sky too? Yes. All right, you know everybody, don't you? 22nd Street Landing, where's that? Oh, that's right here, right? There's some stuff going on out there. Some guy, his name's Maui, he just showed me video of a 1,000-pound mako they actually caught on the Amigo. Pete June was on board the Amigo. He's a friend of mine for many, many, many years. The Amigo, get this, guys, they went down to the border, they slammed the Dorado and yellows on the kelps. They had well over 100 yellows, and then guess what they do? They say, hey, let's split and go to Santa Barbara Island and catch those big bluefin. Burning fuel, working hard. That's amazing. They had 2 over 200. Jesus. I don't know what else they had, but just amazing fishing going on right now.
Real heavy when they were pushing it.
Yeah, did you see Mark Sanada? He was having a tough time with it. Yeah. I love it. Malahini Sport Fishing will be out with Bill Wilkerson on August the 19th, I think it is, or 18th, whatever the Friday is. There's a link in the show description. You can sign up for that. Bill does a great job out of H&M Landing. Island Fishing Tackle in the beautiful city of Carson, California. I heard through the grapevine that 2 guys drove Sam De La Torre up a tree today. Was that you two?
Well,
Yeah.
that's the rumor.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a rumor. I think what were you guys doing? Torturing them?
No, Moon came up with the idea. He says, "Well, why fight traffic? Get down there early and let's go bug Sam."
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we did.
I got Jeff Yeomans. He's saying, "Hello, Phil. I didn't mean to leave you." Jeff, I was just kidding you. You and I are too good of friends for that, so don't worry about it. Moon, can you wrap a rod with the moon cycles on it? Well, I like that. That could be your thing. Yeah. Moon cakes. You know, we ate a lot of those in China. I want one with moon cakes all over it. Man, I looked at a thing. I was eating those moon cakes over there, and I looked at something, and it's like, you can eat 14 Big Macs and not get the calories. Those moon cakes are loaded with how do the Chinese, and they're all skinny. I don't get that whole thing. All right, Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, right there on the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Seal Beach Boulevard. I almost forgot that. Ventura Sport Fishing. Tucker McCombs, you love him, right?
Yeah, what's up, Tucker?
All right, Tucker's the man. He does such a great job. This guy's not nervous. He's had his stride.
He's ready.
He's ready,
I think
man.
you just had to mention Tucker.
I know. You and Tucker got something going on?
Yeah, not yet.
Do I need to call Brittany tonight? Okay. 805-676-3474. The morning briefing. Don't forget that every single morning. You've got to get your morning briefing, right?
That is a must.
I paid both you guys to say it's a great show, so come on.
You did.
Fish Taco Chronicle Magazine. I don't know if you want to hold it up so I don't have to listen to Sean Arnold tell me that he's not on there. And that's it for right now. So one thing before we get going, our Patreon members are going to win a special prize. One of them are, not everybody. Yeah. You want to talk about it before we get going?
Yeah, I kind of put together a little package here. It comes inside of this nice little binder, if you will. But this is kind of a bluefin tuna jigging starter kit. It has everything for your daytime jigging up to your nighttime jigging. And you'll see that all the jigs in here, there's 10 of them. So I think it's over $150 as far as the value is concerned. But one of the things that I wanted to let your viewers know is that they're not rigged, but I'm including my contact information on here. And if you have any questions on that, feel free to give me a yell, either an email or a text or a call.
Brian, thank you so much. That is such a great gift. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, that would be rad if you could do the moon cycles. You could do anything, can't you?
Pretty much.
Yeah? You probably put something on there with a pretty girl or something, get me a divorce, right?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, don't do that. All right, Chi Chin Lo. Dang, stuck in Sacramento, largemouth bass fishing when I got the bluefin blues in my hometown, OC. Went fishing on the Yak at night in Huntington Beach Harbor, and I saw thousands of moon jellyfish and some green sea turtles going to town on them. Man, this is a whole moon thing tonight, right? Yeah, I love it. All right. There's no question. Anybody want to ask a question, please do. Give us a like, because these two guys are not getting out of here until we get 100 likes.
There you go.
I'm not allowing it, right?
In fact, I think, isn't that what we talked about? We don't get 100 likes in the first 5 minutes. I'm giving this away to you.
That's right. Thank you. Hey, don't worry about the likes. Don't worry about it, okay? No, just calm down, everybody. You don't have to. Who cares? This is a dumb show. You don't have to like us. No, please. Moon, let's start with you. Brian's been on the show before, and we're going to do a lot with Brian.
Okay.
So you talked to me a little bit about this, but I think it's really important. Doc Ski, whom some people may know and may not know, had a profound influence on your life through a VHS tape, which I don't even know if people know what that is anymore. But explain, please, who is Doc Ski and how did he affect your life so much?
A lot of people ask me, where I start, who taught me how to wrap rods, 27 years ago. And I tell everybody that, I learned it from Doc Ski's video on VHS. Yeah. I just pop it in my VCR. Some of you might not know what that is, but it's a square thing, you pop it in.
Does that go good with ketchup?
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah, and just pretty much learned from there. And yeah.
That
Watching them.
VHS, that video is called Custom Rod Wrapping by Doc Ski. It's inside sport fishing.
Oh, it was
I
because I
remember
was
Michael
thinking.
Folks.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that makes everything clear because I was thinking, okay, maybe Doc Ski took a camera and did kind of a not a great. Okay, Mike Folks is involved. It's a great video, and you mentioned that it covers everything you want to know.
Well, if it allowed somebody like me to actually build their first fishing rod, it really shows an awful lot. But I guess when somebody of his talent, of Moon's talent, watches it, I mean, you can see what happens.
Yeah.
So it's had a profound effect on, I think, an awful lot of people.
Yes.
So
for
so
sure.
is he, the man himself.
I'm actually the true test of that because I can't there's nothing I can do. The only thing I can do is talk. So that's why I'm here. That's it. But artwork, I can cook too.
Yeah.
But the rest, if I could watch that and do that, you think I could?
I bet you could.
Oh my God, you don't know me.
I bet you could.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
because
we're
Doc,
just gonna have to lend it to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Doc, I mean, I've known him for years. He's a great, really nice, down to earth guy, right?
Yep.
You feel like you owe him something in a way, or I mean, you look back and he doesn't realize he was kind of a mentor of yours. Maybe he does. Maybe you've had that conversation, but
Not really, but I think he knows. He
Yeah.
knows. A couple times I come up to him, I kind of tell him, yeah, you're the man. I don't know if you know it, but you are the guy that got me started in all this.
you said that he was a YouTuber before YouTube was around.
Way before YouTube were around.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Google.
I know. I did all those VHS tapes back in the day, and
Yes, you
the
did.
one thing I remember about that was that Bob Alvarez was the guy who would do it, and the editing in those days, at least on the 2-bit thing we had. So if you wanted to edit, say I said something in the voiceover and I screwed it up, you had to start at the beginning and let it play to the 50-minute mark, and then record it. And then if you effed it up again, you go back. And so inevitably, 50 minutes, oh, sure, and I'm like reading, National Geographic or something else, who knows what, I won't. And then like, oh my God, it's 51 minutes, start it over. Yeah. So these editing sessions took 48 hours to get, a 15-minute thing. It was really, really wild back in those days. All right, some good questions coming in here. A lot of people, Albert Ponce, who's a great guy. Albert, good to see you. Crystal with a giant dorado the other night. David, good evening, fellows. 540 Slinger. Moon, everyone on the Aloha Spirit Charter Saturday is super excited to try the MCR 950. What is that, a thing that revives your heart, or what is it?
So basically, me and Randy Penny from United Composite, I wanted to build jig stick for the last 10 years for fishing locally here, that anybody can, can use it and stuff like that. And we came up with this blank, and I think we got something good going on here.
Why? Why do you say that? Why?
Oh.
Because this guy told me upstairs that, or no, this guy told me, Darren,
Darren
getting
Dohe,
mixed up. Darren Dohe said, there's something special about this thing.
Yeah, I think when he and I were talking about this, one of the things that he wanted to make sure people knew was that it's actually very easy to fish. It's not as hard to fish as most other jig sticks that are on the market. And it's kind of, I got a chance. I haven't seen it, even though I did a little write up for him on it, but I've never seen it until today. And
It's around here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Where is it? Out there?
Yeah, it's right there. But,
Somebody's gonna grab that thing and run. Are you kidding?
But it's a good stick. I think maybe Darren can agree with this one, but it's a good stick. It finds a happy home on both a local trip as well as a long range trip. It's not crazy. It's not too long where it's hard to manage, but it's long enough to get you good distance, and it's got a really
What is it, 9 foot?
Taper. No, it's
9.6.
yeah.
9.6. Okay,
9.6, yes.
yeah. And Darren made the comment upstairs. I can still hear it. He said, "Boom, man! It fires right into the wind."
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is it about the rod that makes it do that?
Maybe Darren can elaborate on
You want to
this?
come over here? You got to get close to me. Now, lady, in case my wife's not watching.
And by the
this,
way,
you gotta
guys,
get
Darren
close
has
to me
taken
here.
it on his 4 days and personally try it out.
All right, just
So
So for you guys that are out there waiting to try this MCR 950, you'll be shocked at not only how easily you can cast it, but also on the flip side, how hard you can cast it when you have those really windy conditions and you have to get the jig out to the fish, but the wind is blowing at you. You just unload on this jig stick and it will just fire the jig through the wind.
Have you hung a
And
fish on the thing?
I didn't stick with it long
It's
enough.
got to be bitching, right?
I tell you what, the guys that were on our 4-day, they did get some fish on it, and they were impressed. And I tell you, Moon and Randy together on a project, nothing but great things were going to come of that. So you just gotta take your time, be patient, and give it a try. Yeah. You have to cast it. It is amazing.
Thank you, Darren. And there you go, guys. See?
You're the man.
Yeah.
Where do you get this thing?
What's that?
Where can I purchase it? It's not available quite yet,
not
right?
quite yet. It'll be available exclusive to through me.
Yeah.
Moon, they need to hit me up.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how do they do that? Well, we might as well get that right out right now. How do we
just
contact you?
PM me on Instagram, Facebook, or email.
We have the same last name. And
I know.
I haven't even gotten one.
Yeah, Randy Penny's working on it.
All right, perfect. I'm going to catch up because we don't have Alex here today. What's your favorite jig stick blank, both of you guys, to wrap? Oh, that's going to be for you.
I actually like the old school vintage stuff. So. Yeah.
Well, like what?
The Roddies, the Harnells, the True Lines.
Moon, can you make a Rasta rod? How much would that cost?
It all depends on the blanks and components, guys.
All right. Any recommendations for a tuna rod on a budget? Brand, model, length, and age, please.
I would definitely keep it at 7.5 foot. I would probably go with like a rain shadow. You
like that? Rain shadow's good?
Like I said, they said they're on a budget. I would go with a rain shadow.
Okay, and they're good rods, right?
Yeah, Bill Bassett makes great
We
rods.
have that, and I think there's also a lot of offerings from various factories. Your sponsor, one of the show sponsors in particular, Daiwa, has their Proteus series. They've got everything
there you
up
go.
to
Yeah.
rail rod.
Yeah.
You've got
Greg Johnson's gonna love you.
Yeah, well, you've got that. You've got Graftex. We're in a very good time right now in the tackle industry to be able to
Okuma,
have
Penn,
Totally,
they
right?
all make good, little Southern California rods for tuna and stuff. So
David M says, "Don't forget to hit the like button." I don't know if I want people to hit it because I get that right. If
exactly.
hit it. Thank you, David.
There you go.
All right, Sanctuary Seed to Sanctuary. Hey, weight loss guy, look at the Phoenix Axis 8.2 paired with a Penn Fathom 40. Mm-hmm. Is that a good suggestion according to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Penn Axis is graphite composite. Yeah.
Kai Fish Killer, how does the 10-foot UC Reaper compare to my 10-foot Del Mar?
Okay, well, so he's comparing the 10-foot Del Mar to the
10-foot UC Reaper.
Reaper. Yeah, they load up a little different, because of, in my opinion, like let's say the 10-foot Reaper has a little bit faster taper, so it loads a little bit, Plus, Randy I think puts about 4 kinds of materials in there. Yeah. So
okay,
it loads a little bit different than the
all right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Let's see. David M says, "Hello, Darren." You know David M? I'm sure you do. Hell yeah, the moon phases are 6 since they affect the bite. This guy's on the moon phase thing.
Yep.
You should be doing that with that moon. How'd you get the name Moon?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's not what you guys are thinking.
Yeah,
it's just
it is.
given to me.
It's hard to pronounce.
Really?
It's hard to pronounce his proper name. So.
Yeah.
What's your proper name?
Juan.
Like Juan?
No.
Oh,
Juan.
Juan.
Yeah.
Juan. Okay,
With an
so
H. With
so
an
is this like in China? Like everybody has their Chinese name, but there's these gringos are like, oh, they're never gonna pronounce my name. I'm Harry or Larry or whatever, right? Is it like that?
No,
right?
not
Or
quite.
no?
Not quite. Someone just told me, "Hey, Mooney," and it's got stuck with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's no big thing behind it.
No.
You know Scott Bucher? Do you guys know him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he won that. So Scott, I want to call him. I don't want to embarrass him or anything. I'm thinking about his nickname should be Starbucks because I was on the Amigo, and Scott goes like this, and guess who's standing there with a cup of coffee and just got it right in his face? Jeff Jessup, the captain.
Oh, boy.
So I'm like,
Cowboy.
come on, man. Starbucks. That's got to be your new. I don't know if Scott's going to like that or not. All right. Brian Yoshida hung a few on the MCR 950 during Darren's charter.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
All right. Jacob Fritz, you know him?
Yes.
He says, "What's up, Moon?" The weight loss guy. I learned that catching hundreds of mackerels on the pier on a full moon about 18 years ago. Scott Dickerson, for your information, the mics for your guest are not. So you guys got to talk into that just a little bit more. I think
okay.
Scott is saying.
Thank you.
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you, Scott.
All right, Scott. They're gonna ratchet it up. That's my fault, by the way. Paul M. Hi, Brian and Moon. What model for those Daiwas? I don't know. I'm not sure about that question.
Yeah, we're talking the rods or the reels.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he'll clarify that.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the fishing right now because you're the pro on that. You were on a trip recently with Rambo.
I was, yeah.
And it sounded phenomenal. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a 2.5 day trip. We left last week on Monday, and typical bluefin fishing. Do a lot of prospecting, and if you find that one school that wants to bite, that can make your trip. And so it was on the first night. We found it at about 9:05 p.m. and for 45.
That's
minutes,
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 45 minutes, we put for 12 anglers. We put 32 fish on the boat.
Wow.
Between say 40 and 90 pounds.
Nice.
And every one of them was caught on a jig, on a knife jig, and 45 minutes of pure pleasure.
That sounds
And
awesome.
that's kind of made the trip. So at that point on the trip, we kind of made the decision that we were playing with house money.
Yeah.
So the next day we decided to go rock fishing instead.
Oh, how fun.
So
Get some color down there.
Get some
right?
color down there, and we had quality fish. But yeah, it was a really good trip. But we were talking about this upstairs about how
too heavy.
there's I've been a big believer in the fact that some people still believe that this bluefin fishing, especially jig fishing for them at night, it's a luck thing. I don't think that it is. Like for example, our trip, there was a pattern that you had to. Once you got it, you were getting bit, no problem.
Yeah.
I've been saying it forever for a while now that our trip, they wanted a fast sinking jig or a fast moving jig, retrieve jig.
Yeah.
There is a big difference between fast and obnoxiously fast.
Yeah.
The theory of first man down. I've heard that. Well, I like to tie a 500-gram jig, being the first man down. I'll tell you, if that was truly the case, I'd walk on with a 1,500-gram jig and smoke everybody on the boat.
Right.
So some of the guys on our trip, they had the obnoxiously fast sinking jigs on, and even in that type of a bite, I mean, we did have guys that were coming off with one fish.
Yeah.
But you just kind of have to. Fishing is about adapting, right? And
observing,
adapting, and being flexible.
Yeah.
And understanding that, hey, sometimes what you're trying to do might not be the ticket to getting bit. So,
right.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. But I was happy about the rock fishing.
Oh, me too. I'm with you on that.
Big old smile
More
on
than
my
the
face.
bluefin?
Yeah,
I
them
swear.
rays coming up.
You're like me.
Wow, yeah.
I swear. I know, same thing.
Yeah, but it's fortunate I got 4 of them, and I got them on his build, and so it's nice to be able to sit here. You have somebody who provides a service, and then you have his client.
That is pretty
right
cool,
next to
right?
him too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and Moon, you said if there's if you don't have a lot of current and you're fishing those bluefin, there's no use. You don't need to have a 500-gram jig.
No, you don't. Yeah. No, you don't.
You just can back it off a little.
I mean, if it's slack, you can get away with a 150-gram,
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Sometimes guys say the smaller jigs get bit, but you have current, then you need to go to the heavier stuff, right?
The thing with the current, it's everybody's so dialed in on a knife jig now, and it was for a while the flat fall, and then after the flat fall, it became the SK, and after the SK, now it's a knife jig, and I think that there's absolutely a time and a place for it. When you have slack current, I mean, why would you? There's really the knife jig doesn't. I mean, unless they really for that particular stop want it really fast moving.
Yes.
But you can still fish with your flat falls. You can still fish with your SKs, and yes, you will get bit on them still.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But yeah, it's just time and a place for everything.
Manuel C. Good evening, gentlemen. He must not be talking to me. Brian and Moon. Yeah, see? I told you. Brian and Moon, thank you for taking the time to share your knowledge. Great stuff, Phil. Oh, he is talking about me.
There you go.
Always a pleasure and an honor to tune in. Now, Manuel, we really deeply appreciate you doing that. Bluefin being bluefin, call it bluefin PMS. Uh-oh. Yeah, maybe, huh? The weight loss guy. Question to all three of you. What is your most memorable tuna trip and why? What made it memorable? What year did it happen in? Moon? Then we'll go to Brian.
Already on the tracer with Steve Thompson, a long time ago, fishing Albacore. They were buying anything, and we threw in fish tag, and they bit it. So
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, it was.
I would
It's
say
a hard one, right?
It is, but
Yeah.
I think in 2000, it's in 2001 or 2002. It was my charter on a boat called the Charger.
Yeah.
I don't know you guys remember that boat, little boat with Captain Rick Craddock. It was 2 days, and in I want to say in 90 minutes we limited out on Albacore, your favorite. Bill.
Yeah,
We
don't
limited
rub
out
it
on
in.
Albacore
Where are they, Darren?
in about an hour and a half. And
Wow.
then after that we went calico fishing and tried to fish for yellows, and so I just remember that trip because I was working for a fishing tackle distributor at that time, and we had our reps coming from up north from different parts of the country,
Yeah.
coming out to fish, and they're thinking, man, is it always like this? I mean, I was fishing 60-pound test on at that time. Penn had just introduced their Baja Special. I filled that thing with 60, and it was game on.
Oh my
So
God.
there you go. That was yeah.
All right. For me, I have many memorable trips, including like many Father's Day trips. I used to go every Father's Day with my boys, of course, on the Polaris Supreme 5-day trip. But I'll go to my commercial fishing days when I was running a little boat out of Redondo, and we were fishing out on Tanner Bank, and we're catching rock cod, and we're making money. Okay, but I mean, 3 days of rock cod, and you're like, you got the radio on,
Yeah.
and you're listening to this triple jig strike and 20 bait fish, and we're like, I want to go catch an albacore. So
Yeah.
I was with Rick Effinger, who runs Marina del Rey Sport Fishing. He's the owner of Rick and my brother, and we're making a move on Tanner to go catch some rockfish, and we see these freaking birds circling and doing their thing, and all of a sudden we roll up, and there's freaking albi, and you know what they're feeding on? This freaking, it looked like a freaking, just a tunnel of fish going like this. It was small boccaccio, and the albis were eating that, and we could braille the boccaccio, and we started using that for bait, and we caught a lot of albacore. It added some variety to catching, and we were still dropping down 50, 75 hooks and filling them a lot of times. So that was fun stuff back in those days. But
Yeah.
a little bit of albacore
good.
like
Yeah.
that. It was great. You guys got a pursuit report or something you want to give us? Oh, expletive deleted. So. Not that good. All right, we'll skip over that. Let's see. Weight loss. Or no, that was a great question, by the way. Line marking is crucial when bluefin tuna fishing at night or during the day with jigs or sinker rigs. Jacob Fritz says that. Agree or disagree?
Absolutely agree.
Jacob, very good point. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
All right, weight loss guy. The Daiwa rods for the budget tuna fisherman. What are the best?
Proteus.
Of course, I have an extensive knowledge of
Yeah.
Daiwa's product, but I'll let you shine here now.
They have that Proteus rod, and then they do in that, I think in the same series they do have a rail rod as
Yeah,
well.
they have railroads.
Yeah, and I'm talking like what are they, like under 329?
They
bucks
put
or
out
something
some
like that?
good stuff
Yeah.
at a low price, right?
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
do. And then they
So-
have, the upper end also. But yeah, I think it's great. All right, thank you. I thought I'd let you shine.
No.
My knowledge on numbers and all that stuff is so poor. And I was down there the other day. I think I told you this. Jeff Jessup on the Amigo, and he's going, I don't know any of these damn numbers on these rods and everything else. And I go, oh, you don't know how happy I am to hear that. I thought it was just me. So I'm glad you guys are here. You got that all wired up. And C2, he says Proteus is good. David Maestro, good friend of all of ours, right? I don't know about Darren, but Dave Maestro.
We just ran into him too.
He's a great guy. Great show and information.
What's up, Dave?
Much appreciated, he says. Abraham Esparza, hello, gents. I have a 1.5 on the Pacifica 821. Think I'll still have a shot at tuna or too late in the season? No, it's definitely not
no,
too late.
You're like,
No.
that's like right in the middle. You're
Abraham,
good.
yeah, I mean, the fall is when it
Yeah.
normally happens,
Yeah,
right?
well, we got to be careful.
Yeah, right.
2021 fall was a little different.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. That's true. You know, every year is different. And
Yeah.
it goes back to what you're saying about observing and acclimating
Right,
and,
adapting to
and
it and
adapting.
being flexible, yeah.
Sounds like what the U.S. Marines do, right?
Right.
You know, they adapt. You know, whenever they are faced with a problem, they adapt. Or my
Right.
friends in Mexico, like when I have a problem with something, I'm like, how in the hell are we ever going to fix this? I turn to one of the guys in Mexico and boom, they figure it out. You know, so they're very innovative that way. What's everyone's age in the chat? Oh, I don't know. Well, I guess I'll have to do that. Or press 1 under 45 and 2 over 46. Well, that might be interesting to you in your day job, right?
I know.
Yeah. Robert Nguyen says, look at the win-win situation.
up,
Great
Robert?
job,
Yep.
fellas. Darren Dohe, 2+. What is that? Is that out of 10? You're giving us a grade, 2?
No, the age issue.
Oh, all right. Perfect, 2+.
I will see you.
Darren, come here.
Darren,
Come
thank
here.
you.
Say goodbye to everybody. It's so good to see you, my
Thank
friend.
you guys for having me.
Darren,
We'll
love
see
you.
guys later.
Thanks,
Darren.
man.
You guys
Take care,
be
Darren.
well.
All right. Another great guy, right, in this
Absolutely,
business.
great guy.
Yes. All right, C2 Sanctuary. I'm only 26, and it's hard to find people as interested in SoCal offshore fishing in my age group. Honestly, such a shame because fishing has made my life so much better. Are we losing? Is the sport losing people, or do you feel like?
I don't think so. I think, boy, for you, your clients are, they're all kinds of different age demographics.
Yes, and yeah, a lot, and I'm saying more than half of them are young than 30. So,
yeah. And
So-
I mean, we're looking. I mean, let's take a look at 2020 when we were all at home, and we the whole jig stick craze was going on. I mean, that was a lot of the young bucks.
Oh, hey, yeah.
getting
Heck
active.
yeah.
So I mean, God, how many jig sticks you built that year? It was madness. So no, I wouldn't say that we're losing it. I think maybe if you fish on weekends, you'll see more of the youth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're working, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully, you'll find some more people because there's a lot. I mean, my kids and they have all kinds of guys that are
And we're
totally
still
involved.
young. We're in our 20s, right?
yeah,
Mom?
yeah,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about how old I act, it's like 6, maybe. All right, Kay Smith says, please focus the camera. You guys are blurry. I don't know what to tell you because I'm running the show here, and that's all. I can't run over there. So if it's a little blurry, I apologize.
Yeah.
Steve Bermudez, 1, Kay Smith, 2. These guys are answering their age groups. Seed to Sanctuary, maybe my friends just suck, he said. They don't like to fish all that much. So Moon, you got into rod wrapping. You watched that video. When did it dawn on you that this could be your vocation in life? When did that enter into your brain?
You know what? I don't know if it's a vocation or a work that I did that I watched the video and I got hooked on, but I'm hooked on fishing. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was taken on a 3-quarter day boat by my dad's friend, and I was just hooked for life. And that's how I started.
Do you remember the name of the boat?
Apparently not.
Okay.
Apparently not. It
You
was out of
remember-
Redondo.
It was out of Redondo.
It was out of Redondo.
Back in what year?
Oh, I don't know, when I was like 14.
Okay.
Yeah, 14 years
What
old.
year would that have been? I don't want to ask you a trick question there now.
So that's like 30 years ago.
30 years ago. Okay.
yeah,
I don't. Who was the 3/4?
Yeah.
Maybe was
Yeah.
a sea spray there, or
I
who
don't
knows,
remember.
right?
But like I said, I do remember growing up fishing on the freelance for sand bass, and my first overnight catching my first yellow on the older Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And you got hooked immediately.
yes.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Were you born here in the States?
No.
You were born in Vietnam.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you fish there as a kid?
No. I was real young. I think I left when I was 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Came over when I was about 7 or 8 years old. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you told me you'd gone back several times.
Yeah, a couple
or-
times.
Yeah.
Like half
I
a dozen
love
times,
Vietnam. I had
yeah.
such a good time. I was sitting in a coffee shop in Hanoi,
Uh-oh.
and there's a lake like right there,
Yeah.
and people watching is great. And some guy walks up to me and he says, I love Americans. Super nice guy, young guy. And he goes, whatever you do here, I paid for it.
Okay.
And it's all done. And he just left.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Okay.
That doesn't happen too often in Los Estados Unidos. So it was, I had such a good, I could tell you some funny stories of stuff that went on. I was walking down the street. Some guy pulls up on a motorcycle and he goes, hey, you want me to take you around? And I'm looking at him, trying to size him up. Like, is this guy, you know? And I go, oh, I'm good. You know, don't worry about it. And he goes, let's go have a cup of coffee. And I go, sure. We jump on a motorcycle with some guy and off we go. And he took me, I forget the name of the cathedral, St. Patrick's maybe, but this Catholic cathedral that was awesome. And this guy was getting married to this beautiful Vietnamese girl. I got a photo with both of them. And it was just really a dream trip. So really, really good.
He went to a Vietnamese coffee shop and he
Ah!
talks about the lake outside.
Yeah. Hey, no, actually,
continued.
this was actually not that kind of coffee.
Okay, just making sure those exist.
What are you guys talking about? I've never heard of such a thing. You mean?
I don't know either.
Yeah, well, yeah, boy, you're blowing my cover here. There's none of those in this country, is there?
No.
Yeah, thank God.
No.
Yeah, I hang out at Starbucks,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be caught dead in one of those places. Oh my God. So, you know, we walked out here tonight. Were you guys there? I couldn't believe everybody raving about that trip on the Amigo. And, you know, the Thunderbird, Jeff Markland, he's been all over it. This is some really good fishing right now. Tons of yellows. The Dorado seem to be playing a lot more now. That yellowfin tuna is mostly down south of Mexico still. And it's mostly small. Excuse me, like 8 to 12 pounds. But man, if that joins the party, and if that bluefin switch were to go on, we're looking at some awfully good fishing right now, huh?
I think the switch is on. For
I think it is.
right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it is silly fishing. I saw report. I mean, what the Intrepid came back this morning. What they wrote, every angler on the boat had 100-pound fish.
Oh my God, really?
Okay, it's not like this
Unbelievable.
all the time, guys.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Oh my God, that sounds incredible, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where this season is headed, but I get a feeling that we're going to be really into fishing this fall.
Yeah.
It's setting up for one heck of a fall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always. I mean, every single year the bite seems to go. It starts earlier and lasts longer. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Right. You know, we were this year. When do we have the bluefin bite? April. It started up in April, and I think that we would have got bit in March had we had some weather that cooperated for us. So trips were going out in April and getting them all.
Yeah, and it was good.
it
It was
really
really good.
Yeah. I mean, I remember
the
this.
speed really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the San Diego had a trip where they quit fishing because they were just beat up, and they had these 100 to 200 pound BFTs on that 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or
2 guests ago, our buddy James Kikawa.
yeah,
He was lighting it up in the spring.
yeah, I
this
know.
year. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you know James, right?
do.
Yeah.
I do.
You like the whole slow pitch thing and the whole? Do you like?
I'm really into it. In particular, that speed jigging. Slow pitch, not so much. The only reason why is because my tackle box can't get any heavier. I cannot allow that to happen.
You can get somebody else to carry it. Moon will carry it for you.
Yeah.
I'm not. All I do is
Right?
film, so I'll
Yeah.
carry it for you.
But I think the difference between those two as well. We kind of talked about it upstairs, but I think that there are more fish in Southern California, more variety of species anyway, that will eat the slow pitch as opposed to the speed jig.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the speed jig gets the glory fish.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
the bluefin, right? So
Yes.
yeah, but that's what I caught. You know, I was doing the I guess you can call it the traditional jigging anyway, the jigging methods on this last trip on the Cortez with a rod that Moon built for me.
Do you do the slow pitch rods?
Slow and
Oh, you do?
fast pitch. Yes.
Oh, so
yes.
Did you mention how to contact you? You did mention, right? On how do we contact you?
Instagram,
And-
Facebook, or
and what is it? Is it Moon or what?
At Moon's Custom Rods.
Okay.
At
perfect.
Moon's Custom Rods on Instagram.
Okay.
And, Moon's Custom Rods on Facebook.
All right, I got a question for both of you, or Moon, or whoever wants to take this. What is why would somebody want a custom rod? Because they just want their own colors? Like I want my Notre Dame colors, or is there something more to a custom rod that is more important than just the way you want it to look, which is important too, right?
Well, I will start
Please.
because I am his client.
Yes.
and I want custom rods.
Why? That's a good, I want to hear this.
Well, there's a lot of things, and you're absolutely right. Color has very little to do with it, and obviously that'd be the cherry on top. Of course, you
Yeah.
get your own colors.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes there's features of a rod, of a factory rod, that they don't work for you. Factory rods used to come with really tuna rods anyway. Used to come with really short foregrips. Well, now we want them really long, so we can fish the rail on them. And quite frankly, there's still a lot of them on the market today that are just not long enough. So
Really?
there's one. Maybe the length too. If you are 5'8", an average build, and the factory rod has an overall rear, that's a hypalon and the butt cap or the gimbal to the reel seat, that thing is super long. Well, it gets caught up in your shirt all the time, and it's just not as ergonomic, I think would be the right word.
Okay,
So
right.
there's, and then 3, this is it. This is what drives him crazy when I send him messages. It's like, all right, dude, the guides. There's something I want more out of my guides. I want maybe the line to come through quieter. I want it to be lighter. I want it to be taller. I'm fishing a bigger reel with this. What do you recommend? So now, as the client, I've transitioned that over to the builder himself. Now you kind of understand it's componentry, modification of blanks. That's his expertise.
Yeah.
And so that is really, it goes far beyond color. And I'll leave the rest to him, the master here.
Yeah, I mean, is it like when I go to buy a suit and you got to...
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
A custom rod because you want it because, like a custom tailored suit.
Yeah,
It's not one size fits all.
it's not.
Yeah, you have to cater to your liking, your style of fishing.
And if you're tall or short,
That's
or
correct,
all
yes.
that stuff comes into play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Can you look at somebody and figure it out, or you don't actually measure people, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh wow.
No. He can look at somebody and figure it out. I'm going to tell you, okay? The last 2 that he built for me, they were the speed jigging rods.
Yeah.
Okay? I had just the specific the length of the rear section that I wanted. He built them 2 different ways. He hands them to me and he goes, "I bet you like this one better." Got off the trip? Yeah, dude, I do. There you go. He
Wow.
can tell by looking.
You
He's
can.
being modest.
Can you look at me and figure out what I would do? No, please don't insult me now. Please.
You like to go drink coffee.
right.
Man, you're gonna get me divorced after tonight.
Yeah.
Thank
Wanna
God
go
my
tonight?
wife doesn't speak English.
After the show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could use a pop of coffee tonight. Just a cup of coffee. It's innocent, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, you guys are nuts. All right, man, you'll see. Moon, do you make custom gaffs for private boats? Hey guys, 43 likes. Thank you so much. Keep those likes going. These guys are fantastic.
Phil still gets the gift. We're not at 100.
Yeah, right, exactly. We got to get to 100.
Get the mics in.
Travis Bright says, okay, yes, show 'em. Go ahead.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh,
Do you make gaffs?
no, I don't. I don't make gaffs.
Would you do that if a guy requested it? You know,
I leave it to the guys that make gaff like Morena. He makes beautiful gaff over there. Look him up on Instagram.
That's very nice of you to send him some business.
Yeah. My last trip to Boa, I did make some gaff because I wanted the captain to have some gaff that I made for him. So I did make a couple gaff and left it down there for them. So.
All right, perfect. John Doe. Oh, I know John Doe.
We all do.
The same guy that goes to the coffee shop. What's your name? John Doe. What do you guys recommend, rod and reel, to cast anchovies a country mile? Good question, John.
Go first,
I guess he can get real specific on it, but I always wondered for years when people are looking for it, when people look at a rod and they go, "That's really good for anchovies. It's really good for anchovies." And I know that the rod has a bit to do with it, but I don't think that's the end all be all. I still believe in it's the angler as well.
Yeah.
But as far as specifically that rod, I've had a lot of luck with that Seeker 858. I used to fish that one a lot, and I fish the old glass rods. But these days, I'm sure we haven't had a need, but to fish them not too often.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like Brian said, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of sardines You know, last couple
Spoiled.
years.
It makes life
We're
easy,
so
right?
spoiled, aren't
Yeah,
we?
last
Yeah.
10 years, even more than that. But anyway, if you guys want to learn how to cast an anchovy, in my opinion, you need a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Soft tip rod, and you need a star drag reel, okay?
Yep.
No lever drag, star drag reel with a graphite spool. And please, go to a park, go to a pond, go anywhere, practice. Lightweight, practice.
When we were younger, my brother and I, we used to we would take our rods, whatever it was. I mean, we weren't, you know, we didn't have the luxury of being able to say, oh well, I could buy a Newell, I could buy this. It was a jig master from Fedco, and we would tie on. We'd listen to Frank Lopresti seminars,
Right.
right,
With
we
a clothespin?
yeah,
Clothespin, yes.
Or then we kind of started to graduate. When we got really high tech, Phil, we got little 3-inch swim baits, worm
Yeah.
king swim baits. We just spread it
AAs,
through,
yeah.
and we would obviously. I think the practice that spray bottle is king. You're gonna have a wet line cast
Yes.
better than dry line.
Yes.
And we would just practice that until we couldn't. Our arms were tired, but eventually we got it, and to a point where it became second nature to us. And then I'm sure, like most other, I was fortunate or unfortunate, but I grew up when it was just anchovy. And then I remember the
Me
first
too.
time.
Yeah, same thing.
I remember the first time I saw a sardine. My brother and I said,
What
"We don't
the
have
hell-
books big enough for these things."
Yeah, and what is it? I remember that in the Redondo special, looking in there, and one of the old deckhands said, "That's a sardine," and I'm like, "Oh my
what?
God, whoa, that thing is trippy looking." Yeah. All right, Birdman 904. What's the latest on the Albies? That's me.
Yeah.
All right, so I've made my the latest is Birdman that I am very consistent in my predictions. They all go up in smoke. So there's some albacore being caught up in Northern California up there off Fort Bragg, as close as 17 miles here in the last couple of days, but we have yet to see them slide down here. I had a slight glimmer of hope when I saw the Royal Polaris out near the 70-90 bank, and there was no reason for him to be out there other than looking at that albacore. Maybe he limited out on bluefin and said, "Hey, let's take a flyer," and I didn't hear any Roy Rose or anybody saying we got Albie on board. So I'm holding out hope, but it's quickly going downhill. And all that Dorado and Yellowfin, you would think would put the kibosh on the albacore, but that warm water is on the beach and it extends out a little bit, but there's still that cooler albacore type water offshore. So I'm holding out hope, but rapidly ready to break into tears once again. I wish they would show up again. But this is so exciting. I mentioned on my morning briefing the other day,
absolutely.
I'm almost over the albacore thing. This is way too great. All right, this gentleman wants to know, what's the turnaround on the builds? How long does it take?
When my books open up again, when I'm taking the orders, it's 4 to 8 weeks. 4 to 8 weeks.
That's not too bad, right?
No, it's not too bad.
Great Christmas presents too,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Robert Nguyen, custom rods are, I almost can't see it all. Whereas a factory rod needs to cover the masses. Custom rods are for the individual. Moon is a master at his craft when it comes to tailoring his clients. Notice the tailoring reference
yeah.
to the suit. Very
suit,
nice.
yes.
Excellent. David Maestro, as a kid, I used to practice with wooden clothespins.
That's correct, yes.
All right. Seed 2 Sanctuary, I used to let a ball of power bait dry on the hook and would cast that for hours. Another good one, right?
Wow.
And Maury Lope says a 196-8 Newell 220. Is that a good outfit for
Yeah,
anchovy?
until you hook up something big.
Yeah.
Until you hook up something with shoulders on it. But that rod is it's famous for its ability to fly line an anchovy for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, the weight loss guy. I'm 37. Well, I wish I were 37. I'm 97. And a lot of these so-called outdoorsmen I encounter, I invite them to go on a chartered trip and they'll rank it. Shame, because I still go because I catch a ton of fish those times. All right, graphics guy just threw us $10. Look up there.
Nice.
Thank you so much, graphics guy. That is very kind of you. I can hit Taco Bell tonight. I can still eat. Thank you so much. Very good. Steve Bermudez, here's a challenge. How about custom rods for people with handicaps or in wheelchairs? That's a really interesting idea, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
I bet you can get pretty creative on that.
Yeah.
All right, Dino says, good evening, guys. Great show tonight. I would like to remind all of Freedman Adventures crew that Sunday morning, 9 a.m. at BNS Brewery in Santee is the Friends of Rollo raffle. It's really good, too. I mean, this guy, Dino, says, he throws in very little money and walks out of there with sometimes hundreds and maybe even thousands of dollars. Dino, thanks for reminding us all about that. I am going to try to make it, but I am bartending also out at the Orange County Fair. I'm freaking telling you, when I start my shift, it's just 8 hours of, it's just like,
Maybe
and
some
I'm,
Vietnamese coffee.
yeah, yeah, do you have that out there? Yeah, it's not so much the coffee, is it? It's
right.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm sorry. What am I
yeah.
thinking of here? All right, Emilio Escobar, 100-pound bluefins on 65-pound braid, question mark. Can you do it?
Yeah.
Is it a good idea?
It's I mean, the braid doesn't have
Yeah.
much to do with it. It's more of a capacity issue. But if you're 65, so I'm guessing you're fishing 40, 50, even 60 on top. Absolutely.
All right, good. Darren Dohey's back again. I wish Darren was here. I love Darren.
He didn't leave.
Oh, he's out there
out there
He's just hanging
goofing
out
off.
outside.
He's probably
Yeah,
trying to get on the
exactly.
Amigo.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Darren Dohey, Moon just shared the real truth about fishing an anchovy. What did you say?
Practice.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yep.
I thought you were talking about putting them on your pizza or something. You guys, do you like anchovies on your
I do.
pizza?
I
do
do.
too.
I do.
Yeah, me too. They're salty and good, and
Yep.
really good. I got to tell you about this trip. See this woman here? I got to tell you about this trip because I was the deckhand on this trip.
Oh,
This
yeah,
Tom
read your
Durer-
story, yeah.
Yeah, and these people were awesome. So I'll tell you about that in a second. Sniper Gene. Hey guys, I'm looking at getting my first jig stick for surface iron. Do you think a 9-foot would be a good length to start? I surfish in SoCal regularly, so I'm used to using a 9.6 steelhead rod, and those are the best rods for the surf. So,
Yeah.
number one, thanks for the recommendation on the steelhead rod for the surf. Number two, great question. Go, Moon. 9-footer good for a guy that's beginning?
9 is it's good, but for you beginning, I would actually start with like an 8. To be honest, I'll start an 8.
Okay.
I start with an 8. It's easy to load around in your car. It's easy to handle on a boat, even if you go on a buddy's private boat and stuff. And you don't really need a 9. To be honest, unless I don't know.
Well, I think a 10-foot rod in unskilled hands or in uneducated hands, if you will.
That's a lot of rod.
It's not conducive to good surface iron fishing.
Yeah.
An 8-foot rod in skilled and experienced hands, that person will catch fish all day long on the surface iron and be able to cast efficiently. So it boils down to one, obviously Moon was right about, hey, what you're able to get inside your car.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you got to think that the added lengths, it adds more wind resistance because
Yeah.
you've got a little bit more length out there, and you've got to really have a good understanding of casting mechanics to be able to take full advantage of a 10-foot rod. So yeah, I'm right there with him. I think starting off
with an
the
8 and
8-footer,
as progress as you get. Remember, practice, just like that trophy. Practice.
One of the best things that somebody can do if they want to practice, bring a jig stick on every trip.
Yeah.
Every trip. Rockfish in the wintertime, bring it on the boat.
Yeah.
Because get a couple of
Go up
casts
to the
in
bow.
there. Go up to the bow, and practice.
Go down to the park.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or here, I don't know if they want you down on the docks here. I don't think they do, but
But take the
wherever
hooks
you
off
can-
of your jig
Yeah.
when you go to the park.
right. You don't want to snag a German
Snag it.
Shepherd or anything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's not good. All right, can I make a comment to you too? There are so many people watching right now. It's obviously it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. These guys are loving you tonight, so great job. All right,
Thank you. Yeah.
Hi guys, looking forward to fishing with you soon. Albert Yee, John Doe. Hey guys, what's your favorite surface iron reel? Brian, you first.
I love the Shimano Tranx 500 HG. That's been my go-to reel.
Why is that?
Because I like fishing straight braid to a short section of fluorocarbon for my surface iron.
Yeah.
Having the level wind on that reel, I know a lot of people think that hinders casting. It actually doesn't. They've got The way that they designed it, it's the level wind is actually far enough from the spool to where it doesn't create that problem. But more importantly, it winds the line on perfectly for you. Your next cast is only as good on the surface iron as how you wound it onto the spool.
Okay, gotcha.
So when it comes to braided line, it's very important to get it wound on not only tight, but obviously as evenly as you can.
Yes.
So for me, I like the Tranx 500. I think it's a Trinidad 16 with a level wind on it. It's what I fish.
Beautiful. Moon? Greg
like
Johnson.
Brian said,
Greg Johnson's gonna kick your ass there. No, I'm only kidding.
like Brian said, Tranx 500 is a good reel. I fished with an old Trinidad, an old gold Trinidad, 16 and a 20. Yeah.
All right, perfect. We got more questions coming in, boys. There's more people watching. We're up to 60 likes now, and yes, 100 likes. All you guys that are Patreon members better hit it because I'm gonna steal this thing. John says, "Hey guys, great show." Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Any tips for getting better at throwing live bait on 40 and 50 pound? That's, if you're throwing a chovy or something small, that's tough, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess one tip: wet your line on the boat.
There you go.
That's huge right there. It's if you're in the middle of prospecting and looking, and the line dries up while it's in the sun, and you get into a foamer and you've got dry line. It's almost, unless you're really good, you might get a backlash. But wetting your line, that's one tip right there.
Well, there's a guy on here, I feel bad for him. He's a torture victim, honestly. His name is Sam De La Torre, and you two were down at his shop driving him nuts. Not sure if it's been brought up, but how lucky are we to have the best rod manufacturers in the world in our own backyard? Also, the history of great companies in the past. True?
Agree.
Very true.
Yeah?
Yep.
Agree.
Who are they?
Yeah.
Who are some of them?
CalStar, Seeker, Unite Composite, Cousin when they were here.
Yeah, they made a great product, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, what's his name? From Cousins? What the
Wade
heck?
Cunningham.
Yeah, Wade
Wade
Cunningham.
Cunningham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great guy, too.
Yeah.
I like Wade.
Yeah, Southern California. We're very, very fortunate.
Very good, Sam. Excellent point. I asked for an overall jig stick setup, and at Performance Tackle, they recommended the Phoenix Axis A2 and a Penn Fathom 40 NLD2. And it's a budget tank setup. That is my go for jigs.
Yeah, I guess that 40, it's a handful of reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Big.
he's fishing. I think he's probably fishing the flat falls and the SK jigs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
If he's fishing that.
Maybe it's a yo-yo jig or something.
yo-yo
Yeah.
jig, a knife jig, heavier
That's
stuff.
that's
a
a formidable reel.
Yeah.
Sam De La Torre says, and I think this is sage advice, practice casting in challenging conditions.
Yes. Go to the park when it's windy.
Windy.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I've been in a lot of the fishing workshops that I hold with the fishing clubs. One of the things I tell people in regards to casting lures, anyway, in general, is that obstacles, anything that's in your way. Let's talk about Moon. You know this. If you go down and fish with Booger on a full day trip in June. And they're fishing the Coronados, and it's good fishing. Sometimes.
And we're talking about Ryan Boston on the San Diego.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
And you've got 12, 14 guys up on the bow?
Yep.
Yet for some reason, if they're all experienced, it just works.
Yeah,
But
right.
if-
Everybody
but if-
knows
yeah.
what's
But
going
if
on.
you are unsure and you're kind of timid about it, hey, you know what? You use that as something to learn from. You go and you try to figure out casting angles and how you can swing and maximize distance with obstruction. So how do you learning how to cast a jig from the side of the boat? I'm sure you might be able to do that.
What a great show. You guys are awesome, I got to tell you. Sniper Gene, do you guys think a Tranx 400 is too small for surface irons?
No. Load it up with 40, 50-pound Spectra and, do your 35, 40-pound top shot. And, your Teddy C's and, maybe 45s. But, I would keep it to the lighter stuff.
I think you just fish the reel that you're comfortable with. I think that it's easier for many to cast a Tranx 400 size, or Alexa 400 size reel. Just because I think the fact that they can get their entire hand around it, it feels like you've got more control.
Yes.
But there's a trade-off here. You fish those reels, and you hook in anything of size or with shoulders on, as I like to say.
You're in trouble?
I mean, I don't know about trouble, but it's going
You're
to
be challenging.
You're going to be challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, will it work? Yeah, but ideally, it just, I guess, if it's a calico bass, probably a non-issue. Barracuda, non-issue.
Right.
Yellows, okay, 100 yards out. You know, if you got a good wind and you were able to get an 80-yard cast on there, you get bit, and it's one of them, a 35-pounder with an attitude.
You're going to be challenged.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you hang a 60-pound tuna,
Well,
you're really going to be
that's
challenged.
pretty much, yeah.
Travis Bright. Travis, thank you for tuning in. Travis, you'll see it up here. It'll flow through, but he's got his little daughter,
Oh, okay.
Aubrey, watching my show.
Oh, nice.
And she loves the rooster call
Oh,
at the
okay,
beginning
yeah.
of the show. I love the
Yeah,
rooster
I
call
do too.
You know, part of it is because Scott Buchert says it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about putting it on like 20 times at the beginning
Yeah.
now, just to get Scott.
Yeah,
Travis says, I totally agree on the Tranks 500. It's a great reel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. DJB, totally agree on the Tranks 500. Everybody's loving this. Yellowtail Killer with the surface iron. Paul M. Lake Park when it's Category 3 wins.
Yeah, Paul is one of my closest friends.
Oh,
and
really?
There's a little short story on that one. He just got a brand new jig stick built, and we went out to this lake by our house, and we wanted to practice.
Yeah.
But as soon as we got there, it was like a Category 3 hurricane. The winds were blowing.
It was bad, huh?
Yeah, so we had to learn. We were casting into the wind, but you know what? As funny as it was a great educational experience for both of us because casting into the wind, wink, wink, it does happen on sport boats.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, it just I think one of the things that we did learn. Something that we've known, for casting into the wind, but I think we really got to experience that day.
Yeah.
You want to cast on a flatter trajectory, right? When you're casting into the wind, typically if you have the wind on your side anyway, you're casting and you want altitude as well to get distance.
Yeah,
when
correct.
It comes wind's in your face. A flatter trajectory typically gives you the distance that you're looking for.
In the wind.
Into the wind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many times do you have to throw into the wind? All the time.
Yeah,
right?
All the time, yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you're offshore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why that MCR 950, one of the reasons, when Darren's talking about being able to fish that thing in the wind, I mean, I believe it. I pulled on it at the shop, and you can see in the taper that it has the ability to be able to do that right into the wind.
Oh, really?
Flatter trajectory. If you
Yeah.
can, it's going to be obviously dependent on you and how you manage the spool velocity,
Yeah.
of course. But yeah.
All right, perfect. And Sam De La Torre says, okay, time to do another casting at the park day. And were you guys there? No, you guys got to come to the next one. You really do. We had 100 people
Wow.
show up. I think that might pop up there
Yeah.
also. It was great. And Sam and his crew and the 540 Slingers guys and
Yeah.
Gary from Taddy. I mean, there were such great instructors. Eddie Leland, who's in that battle with cancer right
Yeah.
now. So we're
Yeah.
praying for him,
Yeah.
talking to him every day. I got sidetracked there thinking about Eddie. It's a great thing to get out at the park and do that. All right, Chi Chen Lo. I love this guy, man. He's always putting positive stuff up on my Facebook page and everything else. I appreciate it so very much. Can Bluefin feel the vibration of the line jigging at 200 feet? On my last trip, I wasn't. Crap. It went. Can they feel it? It went up the thing, and I can't run over that. I don't have Alex there tonight. Can they feel that vibration?
Of the line?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they can feel more the jig.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know if they can feel the line. I mean, I don't even, I can't remember the last time I've glowed a jig, even though it does have glow straps. So I don't know, if they see it as well, but I'm sure they can feel it, and then they swallow it. It's pretty much it's.
If we, hey, Cheech and Law, if we screwed that up, put that
Yeah.
question up again, by the way. 540 Slingers, that's Jeff. He wants to help at the next casting at the park thing. We got to do that. Ed Nesbitt. My go-to budget rod this year was an Axis 72 with a Speedmaster 16 2-speed. And it works incredibly good. I was throwing a Colt Sniper with it, hitting the foamers, no problem. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Israel de la Cruz is here, a good friend of mine. Is there a big difference in drag systems between the Lexa 400 TW and the Tranks 500?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Alexa, that Tranx 500, it's in a class all by itself.
Uh-huh.
There isn't a low-profile bait caster of that size. It's essentially it has the same capacity of a Trinidad 16. I fill mine with 300 yards of 65-pound Spectra.
Yeah.
The Alexa 400, that's the biggest that Daiwa makes, and it's a really nice reel too. It doesn't hold nearly the same amount of line. In fact, I think it's probably of 65. What is it? 215, 220, something like that.
Yeah.
But you can tell just looking at the gearbox on it. So yeah, the gearing is different. The drags are different, but it's for different purposes too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So many questions, and you know why? Because you two are here, man. People are loving you.
Yeah.
Tons of people
Well, we
watching.
appreciate that. Thank you.
71 likes.
Okay. All right. Here we
Keep
go.
it
Yeah.
going.
Bring
Let's
it
hit
down.
100 here.
Yeah.
The old school 250. Great stuff so far. Oh boy, so far. Like we could go down the drain at any point in time.
Yeah.
Really enjoying the show. Going out on a 3/4 day out of San Diego Friday. If you had to pick 2 setups to take, what would they be? Thank you, guys.
The San Diego.
Yeah. He's going out of San Diego on a 3/4 day trip.
Gosh,
I don't know if it's
I don't
3/4
know.
or
Are they
all
doing-
day.
yeah,
If it's
are
all
they
day,
doing
yeah.
island or offshore?
You know what? Could you clarify? Are you fishing kelps? Are you fishing
Yeah.
the island or fishing
Offshore?
local? If you could do that, then we'll answer it. Dino says, you all hit the nail on the head. Practice makes perfect on all casting techniques. Phil, I would love to see you and Chef Jason down at the BNS raffle. If not, I'll see you on the 19th. Hey, Dino, I'm going to try to make it. I'm telling you though, man, I get my butt kicked at this thing, and I sound like a baby, don't I? I really want. If I'm not there this time, I will be there next time, guaranteed, and I won't miss one. I'll come every Sunday, but I'll try to make it. I'll see if I can get Chef Jason off his butt. Chef Jason was a deckhand with me with Tom Dury yesterday, and
okay.
I want to get to that story, but I can't because there's too many questions. Sam De La Torre, practice casting with your jig just out of your rod. You don't always have all the room to do a full. Yeah, is that true?
Yes.
Elaborate on that, please.
You know, like most guys thinking, you know, you let the jig, you know, parallel to your hip and stuff, and you've been cast. But if there's a bait tank, there's people in the back. Sometime, you know, you need to shorten up your length of your, you know, your line.
Yeah.
And cast. And remember, guys, you don't have to make a big cast to do all this. You know. Yeah.
And both you guys have been standing on like midship, where you can't, and you know how to make. If there's not people around you, you can still make a good cast from there.
Well, I'll tell you.
But you got to
what,
figure
Phil,
that out.
What I have actually over the last probably maybe 12 years, I've learned how to be ambidextrous in my casting.
There you go.
So depending on what side of the boat and what obstruction is behind me, I can cast the same distance with my left hand as I can with my right hand. I mean, I am right-handed, of course, but I mean that's one of the things that's helped me significantly. But yeah, I mean, as far as casting with any type of obstruction or anything obstacles behind you, it's definitely a skill set that you kind of have to.
You got to work
yeah,
at
you
this,
gotta
right?
work at it,
yeah, definitely. Travis Wright says, "Hang in there, Eddie. Prayers for your recovery. We're all thinking about you, Eddie." Cheech and Lo is back. So on my last trip, I wasn't getting bit on my 130-pound setup, and as soon as I dropped down to 80, I caught 2 back-to-back in 5 seconds. Well, that's pretty good. On a WFO bite too. Weird. So he dropped down to the lighter.
Well, I don't know because I've seen I've seen guys, some of my guys on my charter, they rig their jigs with 300-pound and they don't seem to have a problem getting bit.
Yeah.
I think it's more, and you can chime in here, Moon, but I think it's more how the action of the jig, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say action, but what it's doing when it's sinking and what it's doing when you're retrieving it,
Yeah.
and if you're keeping it in front of their face or not.
Yes.
And so, as we mentioned earlier in the show, the knife jig, or on my trip, I mean, guys with the 500-gram jigs, I mean, were they getting bit? Sure, but I mean, like I said, there was guys going home with 1 fish.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference, in fast and obnoxiously fast. And I will continue to say this.
Yeah, I get you.
You kind of have to figure it out on this trip, and every trip is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned one thing from him. You know what? That one thing.
Only one thing, man.
One of a million things. But what I learned was he winds sometimes. He bit we're gonna jig real slow. You know, we're all working really hard, sweating and trying to crank this thing up. You know, 500-gram jig and whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, here comes Moon cranking real slow, and wham.
Yeah.
By the way, Moon.
Yes.
To be honest with everybody, you were a little nervous about tonight, weren't you?
Yes.
You are showing no signs of being nervous, and you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to let you know that. All right, John says, have you used the Tranx 500 PG for surface iron? How does it differ from the HG?
Well, I have, and I think that how you pick between the two, I can slow down better than I can speed up on the surface iron. So therefore, I use the high gear. Whereas if you're not as good on the fast retrieve or on the slow retrieve, then you'd want to go. I'm sorry. If you're not good retrieving the jig slow, then all you can do is fast, the PG will actually work out better, because on a surface iron there is such a thing as too fast, right?
Yeah.
So if you're on an HG, which is what's at 6.3 to 1, and you're burning a jig up, you're cranking real fast, the thing's just going to come back spinning.
Yes.
Right. So so it depends on what you're comfortable with. I'm better at slowing down as opposed to speeding up. So I fish the HG. So as far as the difference in fighting a fish, I can't tell. I'm not going after 200-300 pound fish. It's yellows, so I can't tell the difference.
Oh man, so many questions still coming in for you two guys. How long have we been talking? I want to know, because you're sitting here. How long do you think this show's gone on for right now? You have a guess?
35?
Well over an hour, my friend.
Oh, wow.
How's that, huh? That's when things are happening. We've got a studio audience now. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Are you going out tonight, or?
No, I just stopped in to say hello.
Oh, well, come in and say hello real
I wanted
quick.
to help try to adjust the camera as best I could.
Oh.
I'm officially out of fishing right now, so broke the side of
Oh,
my hand.
man. I'm sorry to
It's
see
my knee
that.
now, it's my hand.
Oh, man. Good to
Yeah,
see
I
you.
wanted to come down and say hello.
Thank you.
Try to help out. I was watching outside. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. You got this thing looking better.
I hope so.
Yeah, you did. I love it. All right.
Guys, talk to you later.
Take care.
Thanks.
Jeanette is watching the show. She says, awesome show, guys. Really enjoying this on my hour commute.
Wow.
We're getting
There you go.
Jeanette from point A to point B. I don't know where that is, but we're happy you're with us, Jeanette. Thank you so much for that lovely comment. Slam and Sammy, what do you guys think of the Akuma Komodo 463?
It's a tank.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a what is it? I think they use stainless gears on it. I mean, it's a beast of a 400 size reel. I represented Akuma for a number of years.
Yeah.
And I've always liked that that Komodo.
Komodos?
Yeah, really nice reel. It casts good. It's got, as far as the drag is concerned, a lot of times I think, you'll see a manufacturer say that it gets X amount of drag, and then, you'll try to prove them wrong with a spring scale at home.
Right.
Well, I don't think you can do that with a Komodo. I think what they state on that as far as its drag capabilities is what you get. It's a hammer.
Yeah, all right. Tony Gonzalez wants to know about a spinning reel setup for surface jigs. Anybody have anything on spinning reels?
Yeah, I have a buddy, Derek. I mean, he used spinning reels for the coast snipers, and his, we went to Baja, and he's thrown a Taddy 9, which is only a 2.3 ounce, and yeah, he throws surface iron with it. And by the way, it's a UC Reaper.
On all the years of broadcasting that I've done, I don't know how many years it's been. It's been a lot of years. This is going to be a first tonight. Something's going to happen right now. You ready for this?
I am.
I got to go take a leak. I really do. I am not going to make it.
Okay.
I can't believe it. So you two are in charge for a couple of minutes. Can you handle this?
I'm sure we
All right,
can.
don't forget, there's the microphone.
Okay.
And you might have to look up there. Yeah, where do we leave everybody? I'll be right back. Take over.
All right. So,
Where we at?
how about the gentleman that asked us earlier about going on a 3/4 day or a full day trip? He's now saying that they're going offshore. So offshore, on a full day trip out of San Diego, you're gonna definitely want a 60 or an 80-pound rig to do that.
Yeah, take a 30-pound, fly line, 25, 30-pound fly line rod. Of course, bring your jig stick.
Yeah.
You know?
But your question, I think you asked us if
right?
we could bring two. I, on an offshore, two is not going to be able, not going to do it. There's too many variables in that. So hope that helps. But yeah, 25, 40, 60, and 80 is probably good.
Yep.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, all this patty fish. Yeah, you're going to have a good time. They're catching a lot of fish.
Okay. Oh, DJB says, always good to be able to go goofy on casting when you need it. Easier to do with iron than bait for beef. There you go.
Yep.
Let's see. All my yellowtail last week were on the ripping a 7X Junior. In my opinion, you can always slow down. Yep.
All right, Ruben Lopez, I'm back. Woo! I've never had that happen, and I find it weird, you know.
Yeah.
But these, you know, we're going to end up going 2 hours tonight, I guarantee you.
Probably.
So I'm looking, I'm going, there's no friggin' way I'm making it 2 hours. So anyway, let's get back into it. Ruben Lopez. Thank you, Ruben. And this will be a trivia question someday. What was the show that Phil Friedman had to run off and take a leak in? Who were the guests? Yes.
There we go.
All right, Ruben Lopez, what rod would you guys use for wahoo? What are you going to use for wahoo?
CalStar 875 XH, UC 80 tile fish. Great rod.
All right, perfect. Kai Fish Killer. Brian, I remember you used to fish Newells, right? And work for Turner's.
Yes. That was me. Yeah.
He knows you.
Yeah. There you go.
Robert Nguyen, good night, fellas. Good show, and seeing you two laying down some knowledge. You guys are freaking awesome. Everybody
We
is loving
appreciate you.
Whoa! I don't know if
Thanks,
we've
Robert.
we just went over 100 people watching right now. That is a big show. This will be well over 1,000 in under 24 hours. I guarantee you that, the way it's going. Christopher Martinez, in my opinion, I would use the Tranx XPG model for fly lining because retrieving slowed down lets more drag pressure and gets more torque.
I don't know about the drag pressure part because the drag system is still the same, but the torque probably just a little bit of a gain. I mean, so yeah. I mean, but the drag, no, it's same system.
So many freaking questions.
Yeah.
This is so great. Thank you, everybody. 80 likes. Let's
Okay.
keep it going. Old school. Thanks, guys. I need some heavier gear. Steve Bermudez. I'm going to fish Dorado on Friday. Bait or jigs or troll at Dana Point.
Bait, please.
Bait, please. All right, there you are. Albert Ponce, man, that was the quickest tinkle ever. Hey, Albert, I was a man on a mission. Even though I know these guys who do a great job, I want to get back here. David Maestro, my buddy uses a Tilefish 80 for spinning gear because it launches the jig like a quick flick. Is that good?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we? Kai Fish? No, wait. Steve Bermudez. That was fast. Oh, yeah, I did wash my hands. Yeah, you trust me? I don't know if you do. Kai Fish Killer, CalStar. What pound test is my CalStar 700 XH good for? Would 60 be good for that?
I fished that rod. That's my Wahoo rod, my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, 60's real good.
Yeah. It's 40 to 80. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. 50 to 100. So yeah, 60, 80.
DJB. I like this guy because, you know, I go to the doctor and he says my prostate is good. He would have been in there 5 minutes. Oh, I didn't have any idea about that. Next time I go, I'll make sure you check that out. Great show. My first time tuning in. Lots of useful information, says Victor Cortez. Victor, welcome to being part of the Freeman Adventure family with
Thank you,
these
Victor.
two great guys. Albert Ponce, what's good on a budget rod for island fishing where you can feel comfortable fishing for calicos, barracuda, and, you know, just in case of yellowtail? What do you suggest, you guys?
Go ahead, buddy.
Well, same thing, like you said. Those Daiwa Protus rods, they're great. You know, for the money, you know, price point.
It's something 8 feet in length.
Yes.
Something that can fish 20 or 25. I think like 20 pound. You know, it used to be 20 pound was was heavy enough to land. You know, 50 pound. I mean, I've got sea bass up to 52 on it.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of considered to be light, but I think 20 pound is one of those dual pound tests.
Yes.
You can fish a swim bait with it. You can fish live bait with it. I mean, you can land yellows on it, assuming you're not fishing any type of heavy structure or kelp.
Yes.
So yeah, something that 8 foot in length, fishing 20 or 25, I think you're in good shape.
It's getting crazy out here. You
It
hear all
is.
this noise?
It is.
And I know we have these directional mics, so hopefully you're not
Yeah.
picking up too much. But we kind of want you to feel the flavor of
Yeah.
these guys are all like
Yeah.
fired up
They're
out
jazzed.
here.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the Amigo went down to the border. I heard they're getting their Mexican permits tonight,
go.
so in case they have to cross the border, so they're ready to rock and roll. And they had an extraordinary trip. One of the gentlemen on there, Maui, sent me video of they said 1,000-pound mako that they actually got on the boat. Jeez, that's awesome. All right, pardon me, Israel De La Cruz just sent us $10. Israel, thank you. And he says, everyone hit the like button.
Yes.
Yes.
84 likes and counting. To 100. Really, really appreciate it. Tons of people are watching. Joe V, what's your honest opinion about old Seeker green glass, an old school CalStar honey glass? I think both you guys can answer that, but whatever.
Yeah, I was just at Island. We were just talking about this, especially the CalStar tan glass. It's so funny because back in the day when I started rapping 20-some odd years ago, no one wanted tan glass. You know, but now everybody wants tan glass because, you know, all the manufacturers like CalStar and Seeker and everybody, they went to black because that's what everybody wants. But now they don't have the tan, so everybody wants that. That goes probably the same thing with the Long Beach Seeker, the Green Seeker. I mean, they're nice, you know, but it's just something that's no longer made. So you know, people just try to chase after what's not there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
It's a nostalgic thing. And,
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
And the stuff now is better.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It's better. It's straighter. You know. The technology is better.
Yeah.
That goes with reels, terminal tackles, and everything.
Some old people, some like get stuck on, like Tom Durer. I hate to bring him up. He's probably listening. He's gonna be pissed at him. But Tom, here's that braid or that Spectra. I hate that stuff. Get it off my boat. You know that kind of.
I like to call that the legacy gear.
Yeah, right.
That's
Legacy
what I like to
gear.
call it, the legacy gear. Yeah.
All right, Rocket Dog, great show and amazing guests. I totally agree.
Thank
You
you
guys,
very
Thank you very much.
I got to have you back over and over and over again. And you and I are going to be working together a lot.
We
but
are.
I'm
Yeah,
glad I
know.
met you, Moon, and that you
Nice
finally
meeting you.
came in here. So another home run. Moon, what's the estimated time for a new rod? Will it be available as a blank?
UC, I have a lot of blanks on order for UC, and Randy's taking care of me. We're hoping to have, you know, like I said, I'll be honest with everybody. Randy can only roll in his oven 12 at a time, so we're gonna have to wait. You know, I'm very happy. I got a big support for this, and everybody wants one, and I want to provide one for everybody to use. But
I'm getting mine tomorrow, right?
Yeah, when am I getting mine?
I'll tell you I don't even have one right now. I have one to lend out to everybody, but I don't even have one. So just wait for it, guys. I'm telling you, this is the real deal. It's a good blank. It's really, really good blank.
It's worth waiting for.
It's worth waiting for.
Yeah. Sam, hey Phil, you might think about talking to Vic about printing up some swag. Yeah, I got to do some shirts one of these days. But yeah, I'm so busy trying to. Yeah, ask me about Medicare. What's that all about? You want to talk about that for a second?
I think kind of going over my history in the tackle side. I think you know you had my bio put up on the
Yeah.
Facebook post and things like that, but I had to grow up and get a real job. So
What a shame.
Yeah, what a shame. But what I'm actually doing now, and what a lucky winner will get in this jig pack, hopefully we can get over 100 likes. I call myself a personal health benefit advisor who specializes in Medicare, and
Don't forget to stay on that mic.
yeah, and I teach people how to control their out-of-pocket expenses in regards to their health plans anyway, and also show them how to use Medicare as a financial tool.
So I'm going to be 65 next year. I
yeah,
need to talk
so I
to you,
think
right?
you're in need of service.
I have no idea what to do.
Yeah, from
So I need a professional.
personal health benefit advisor,
And a guy that can also talk about the latest fishing at the same
Talk
time.
about the latest in fishing, but that's one of my passions. I really love working with people one-on-one to help
Obviously.
them demystify a subject that, quite frankly, is very confusing. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can find me on my website www.mhlis.com. You don't have to contact me about Medicare. I love to talk fishing as well. Please do that. And yeah, that's kind of one of the things with this jig pack here, just so kind of everybody knows. But I didn't rig any. They're not rigged. And there's my contact information on here. If you have any questions on rigging, please feel free to contact me. Because one of my favorite things to do is as far as long as I've been in the industry, I love to teach, and that's part of what I do for now fishing clubs.
Well, you're doing it tonight.
Yeah, I'm doing it tonight.
A great job.
Yeah, but I got 4 workshops that I've created for fishing clubs, and if there's anybody out there who's looking for a guest speaker, I'm happy to discuss that with you. Go ahead and log on my website.
Yeah, how do they get in contact with you?
Again, www.mhlis.com for Milestone Health and Life Insurance Services.
All right.
mhlis.com.
Love it.
Awesome.
I often see people going down on the weight of Top Shot leader line compared to the main line braid. Why is that?
Going down.
So I guess, maybe you have a 100-pound and they go down to 60 to get a bite, I guess, right? Or
yeah,
things are
that's
tough?
being flexible and adapting the conditions, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're not biting the 100-pound or the 65-pound or the 40, and you drop down.
Yeah, Moon drops down to like 12 and 8.
You do, Moon? Do you like fishing light line?
I enjoy it.
Yeah? Do you?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
I like to manhandle them, but as of the last couple of years here, I having fished with him, for a couple of trips, I've really learned that you do have to downsize a little bit sometimes to get bit. So,
I was a kid working on the Searcher, and Pat Conklin, who's an old captain, and Pat's going to be here on the Freedom in October with 20 old captains, and I'm going to go on that trip. But Pat,
they might need somebody to talk to them about their Medicare.
oh my God, you could jump on that trip.
There you go.
Pat gets on the Searcher. He has an 8-ounce, we're fishing Albacore, an 8-ounce torpedo sinker and 60-pound. And he's sitting back in the stern. I go, what are you fishing with? And he says, 60-pound. And I go, 60? Well, what if they don't bite that? And he goes, then I don't catch them. Yeah. that was it, man. They either biting the heavy stuff or I'm not going to fish those things. So, funny guy. Victor Cortez, Sam De La Torre. I printed that Amigos shirt. LOL. He printed this shirt. All right, Victor. We got to talk, Victor.
Victor Cortez. Thanks, buddy. Get on my order too. Man.
There you go. Yeah, really. War's on. No one makes a rod like. Moon. Yeah,
Thank you. Who's that?
Great show. I need you to build me a new set, JC.
Oh.
Anthony Amalfitano, who was our studio audience just a second ago. Great show tonight, guys. Awesome info. Anthony, great to see you, my friend. Sorry, he looks like he broke his arm, right? Yeah. Sorry about that. Hope you heal up soon. We need to get you out on another trip really, really soon. Sam Roberts, LOL, go Durr. Old school rules. Yeah, Tom Durr, man. I haven't been able to get to the story about yesterday. I hope I can do it in a little bit. Tony Gonzalez, the voice of the Dodgers, just passed away. Vince Scully.
Oh.
Breaking news, everybody.
Wow.
God, I mean, did we all grow up with Vince Scully?
Yeah, I sure did.
I was amazed, like, his career spanned over so many years.
Oh, gosh.
So it's a sad time.
It is.
Tony, thanks for bringing us.
Thanks, Tony.
That's not good news. Are you guys Dodger fans, or? No, you don't have to be a Dodger fan because Vince
I
Scully
was
passed.
born and raised in L.A. I'm an L.A. fan. So.
Oh, you're everything?
Yeah.
LA Kings, Rams.
As long as it's L. Well, I don't know about the Rams, but
Well, they probably moved to St. Louis by the time. Yeah. All right. Sorry to hear that. Vince Scully's an icon, a guy that, I mean, his call of like that home run by what's his name?
Gibson.
Yeah.
Gibson, yeah.
I mean, that was so. I can almost hear it. He's limping out there and. Yeah, that was just something. So thank you for sharing that. Steve Bermudez, that's a long website. How about a hyperlink? Well,
my website is very short. mhlis.com.
oh boy, that's really long,
That's it.
Steve.
Yeah.
And what is it, 4 letters?
Yep, 5.
Yeah, 5 letters.
mhlis.
Hey, Steve, can you get one with 2 letters next time, please? Steve's having a hard time with that. All right, Joe V, breaking news. Okay, RIP to Vince Scully. Thank you, everybody, for breaking that news. Sad day for baseball. Absolutely, 100%. I can see a lot of Vince Scully stuff is going to be coming out. Yeah. There's a photo up here, circulating through, thinking of of old time guys. Of Tommy Lasorda, I was on a trip and he was on it, and he completely passed out. He was so tired.
Yeah.
So it'll circulate up here. It's a
Okay.
pretty funny photo of him. I've been hearing that throwing a popper is better and more effective on a spinning setup. Why? SoCal Drew wants to know, why is a spinning reel much better for poppers?
I think because most of the poppers is lighter in weight, and in my opinion too, you know, I think you move the popper better with a spinning reel also too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I agree. Yeah, I mean, because on a conventional reel, you've got to kind of pop the rod up, and you can't. It's not as fast or as efficient on a spinning reel where it's kind of, you've got full access to it. You can move the rod in any way, shape, or form, and it's still a very efficient at working that lure. So yeah, and obviously Moon and I, he was looking at some of the poppers at the shop, and we were like, wow, 2 ounces? Yeah, you ain't doing this with the Saltiga.
Yeah,
40,
right.
and, you know,
That's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just picked one up at Sam's
did.
earlier. A popper.
By the way, I normally wear a Daiwa hat on all my shows. Greg Johnson, I want to apologize to you. Moon said he would walk off the show if I didn't put this on today. No, he didn't say that. To honor you, I have
What's up,
done
Greg?
it. Yeah, really. You're in
Hope
trouble
you're watching,
now.
buddy.
Anthony Amalfitano, the guy that was here. That name, Amalfitano, does that ring with the Dodgers? As a kid, I remember that name, and I've never said anything to him, but he says, man, my cousin Joey Amalfitano was the third base coach. I'm sure he had some great memories with Vin Scully. And R.I.P. Sure. Yeah, Vinny was great, man. I mean, he was so good at what he did. Because, I'll be honest, there's going to be a lot of people who hate me here now, maybe. I played baseball, and I pitched, and I made the All-Stars, as a kid. I didn't go on to high school, and I played freshman football, but then the yellow started biting in September. And I was like, I'm out of here, man. Yeah. I don't like, I'm not a big baseball guy. I like sports where people are hitting one another over the head with sticks, like hockey. Okay, so but I still recognize what a talent Vince Scully was. Amazing guy. So, yeah. Do you guys think San Clemente Island is finally reaching the point where it's been overfished, just like Catalina? I think the problem with San Clemente Island more than anything is sea lions.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think if you remove the sea lions,
You're in good shape.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I really do,
It's
Joe.
thick.
Yeah.
It's
They
brutal.
are thick.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
This year, I mean, a good score over there at San Clemente's been in the 20s on the yellows, which is a good day.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guarantee you those guys would be putting a half a hump, 50 fish
Yeah.
or more on the boat if it wasn't for those dumb sea lions. I've been over there this year. They follow you all around, man. They know. They figured it out.
Brutal.
Yeah, so I don't think so. I think we're okay, but I don't know. What's the answer to that? There's no answer.
No.
Animal rights,
Yeah.
people are not going to put up with you going over there. And
That's it.
yeah, I just don't see it. Because it's really easy to paint that picture with these cute little things and these fishermen running,
Yeah.
you're going to lose that battle every single time. Let's see. Steve Bermuda says, Vinny was the only man I slept with at night. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. Don't. I was afraid I was going to have to.
Well, it's
As
the real
a
slice of
kid,
heaven, guys.
he slept listening
Yeah.
to Dodger baseball. Thank God, Steve. I was going to cut to a commercial really quick. Anthony Amalfitano, SoCal Drew. Doug Inoue. Moon has a burger in one hand and his rod in the other. He gets bit. Does he put his burger down or does he pass the rod off? I want to ask. Asking for Darren. Because I just ran off and took a leak. So that's kind of let me think here. You had a burger for dinner tonight, too. So you like burgers, don't you? He passes the rod off. You do?
What's that?
You eat the hamburger and pass the rod off.
No, not. I mean, I don't know if Doug is asking about a trip we're on or but yeah. No, I wouldn't pass the rod off.
Okay. Gary Kwan from Tatty Lures. I love Gary.
What's up, Gary?
Gary, you're the best. You're such a great guy. He was at that casting at the park thing and went from person to person. Did a great job. Hey, Brian and Moon. Whoa, 90 likes now. Come on.
Come on.
10 more, everybody.
Let's go.
Tons of people asking questions and watching the show. You guys are
like
super
that.
popular.
Yes, thank you very
Muy
much.
popular.
Oh boy.
Yes.
All right, Gary Kwan. Hey, Brian and Moon. Great show. Have you guys had any experience using a big game rod spiral wrapped, aka acid wrapped? I've seen some East Coasters whack some big ones.
Well, I just built Brian here a couple of pretty heavy
Jigging rods.
rods. It's spiral, so yeah.
I think that the idea of a spiral wrap rod is, I think when it first started, a lot of the guys were finding that the way that you wrap the guides, it almost, how would you say, it kind of corkscrews downward. It almost
right.
transitions into a spinning rod towards the last couple of feet of the blank. And the idea, or the original idea, from what I understand, was the fact that it kept the rod from twisting when you were pulling on it. So that's a lot of times when we're fighting a fish without a gimbal, let's just say, the rod twist is something that we have to contend with. We may not know it, but it is part of the equation.
Okay.
So that helps that. But more important, lately, so that's the offshore type of rods.
Right.
Lately, on these jigging rods, the speed jigging rods, especially the ones that we're using for bluefin, the reason why that's really, that's something, if you are going to have one built by somebody like Moon, you probably want that because one, it prevents a lot of the tip wrapping issues that you're going to have.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of slack line and quick movements of the rod going on, and secondly, well, those rods, they've been they're very parabolic.
Yes.
And if you have them, if you're going full tilt boogie on the drag, on a big one, right?
Yeah.
If that rod is just really, you're giving the rod the business, and the tuna, of course, the line will touch the blank, and some people, you want to try to avoid that as well, because now it doesn't. It's not as efficient
Right.
when the line's touching the blank. So that prevents that. But he's built a lot of those spiral wrap rods, and he recommended it to me. So he's got more experience on that. I just fish them.
Awesome. All right, great questions from the Freeman Adventures family, and we are not anywhere near through. The Proteus with a diet was 6,500. I run 65-pound braid to 35-pound Opsin fluorocarbon. Great popper setup. Anthony Amalfitano again. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yep. He says Daiwa. Kai Fish Killer, seals are overfishing. I think he means the seals are overfishing, right? Yeah, they are. We got to stop that. Joel Shimuzu, you know him, right? Bringing the moon wrapped CalStar 800 mag this week. Can't wait to check out your new jig stick.
Okay. Yeah.
So many people are excited about this, right?
Yeah, we're going on Aloha Spirit, and yeah, I'm bringing a couple for the guys to try. Just bring out your favorite jig reel,
When are you guys on the Aloha Spirit?
Saturday.
Oh,
That's
great.
Johannes's charter, Jeff.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Tucker on board the Endeavor, he would just finished a 2-day trip and had 12 bluefin. Some big ones, too. So that's in range for those guys. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, what were we saying up there? I think those might be the biggest fish Ventura sport fishing is.
Maybe,
Could be,
right?
unless I'm outside of a black sea bass, maybe back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, right? Yeah, but that's amazing
Yeah,
stuff.
Sean just got one, on
Yeah.
Aloha Spirit. He's got a nice big
Yeah,
Last
he
week.
did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys up there have had. Mirage had one
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
Bunch of those guys. That's been such a great fishing zone up there. I mean, it's sea bass central, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And when that doesn't bite, you got just as many rockfish, quality rockfish.
Yeah.
Great calico fishing.
Yeah. And then, along the beach, the Island Spirit with Cody Rogers, they've been all over the Barracuda lately.
What's
so-
up, Cody?
Yeah, do you like Cody?
Yeah,
I fished
we're
with
all
him.
buds with Cody.
Oh, I love Cody.
Yeah.
Had such a good time with
Yeah.
him. All right, Rocket Dog. Thanks, Moon, for the response to my question. I sent a message to put me on the list, Jose. John Doe, what do you guys think about the new DFJ rules coming down the pike? I don't know what is that.
Yeah, no.
I think it's a
Something
rockfish thing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna. I think they're gonna limit it to 8 months a year or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
So John, let us know what that is.
Yeah.
By the way, anybody out there know? Do you know how old Vin Scully was?
No.
I'm gonna guess. What do you guess?
I'm gonna guess 95.
That's what I was gonna say. Honest to God,
Yeah.
he's got to be something like that.
Yeah,
Anybody know?
90s, yeah.
John, let us know what those new regs are because we're not exactly sure. Sam De La Torre, hey Moon, I got a Cedros trip next month. I need your new rods, pretty please. Oh, make Sam beg some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wrap that one, the blank you got in your shop, Sam. I'll wrap that up. You can take it down. You know that.
Sam, I'll let you borrow mine. I'm getting it tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I've got one already. So, yeah, Sam, no problem. Joe V, he was 94 years old. Pretty close there on the guess. So, we got a second where we don't have a question. We need some more likes. We're at 93. We're doing good. Yesterday, I was a deckhand for Tom Durr. He calls me up. This is funny because I was originally going to Monterey with him because, you know, he's 80 years old, and it's not that he's with it. He's really good. But, you know, he doesn't want to drive all the way to Monterey. So he goes, hey, do you want to go to Monterey? Oh, yeah, I'm dying to go on my day off from serving at that. So I go, yeah, I'll go to Monterey. So I was going to, you know, I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning after going to bed at 2:30 in the morning. And so all of a sudden I get a text while I'm working at the OC Fair, and it says, call me right away. And I go, you know, I can't call you. I'm busy. Text me. So he doesn't text, you know, that old person thing. And so finally I get a break and I call him. I go, what's up? He goes, oh, we're not going to Monterey. And I go, oh, yeah. And he goes, I need crew tomorrow. I don't have a crew and I got a charter. And I go, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And he goes, well, you were going to Monterey with me. And I forgot that. So I go, yeah, I'll be there one time. Anyway, so I go. And it's the mom's born in Singapore. Dad and the kids are born in China. And they get on board the boat. Man, those boys and the dad and the mom, what a family. What a beautiful, I'm telling you, they were the best. And Chef Jason was there. But the kids, you guys have been talking about this. He was just pinning, he'd question. Why do you do this? How do you cast? How do you do this? And that insatiable desire to learn. That kid was catching fish. And then Tom Durr called one of the boys. He was sitting up kind of on his phone for a second. And he goes, come here. I'm tired of hooking and handing to you. You're going to do it. That kid caught like 9 calico bass by himself. And you could see the smile. It was such a great experience. Those people were so lovely and giving. And I made the point, and almost broke into tears this morning. I'm being slightly facetious, but not really. Those kind of immigrants who come into this country make this place better. And this is the truth. As we came in, it was 4:30, and the Army base plays the national anthem at 4:30, and then again at 9 or whatever it is. She was singing the national anthem and didn't miss a word. And those people who especially come from those kind of totalitarian regimes, as is China, I love China. I love teaching it. Their government sucks.
Yeah.
People are lovely, but I don't mind saying it, even though so many of my friends over there would say, be angry with me right now. But those people who come from those kind of regimes really value the United States of America. And I saw all of that. And the funny thing, it wasn't that funny, but she dropped her iPhone getting off the boat. And, you know, if that were me, I'd be, oh my God, my iPhone, that's my life. Everything is in my iPhone. And she just was kind of giggling. She goes, oh, I have a Chinese SIM card in there. It's really important. I know it is too, because I kept mine because it's how I get into my bank account in China and all that. So, which I have $100 in that. So that's it. But it was just so nice. And I went up to Mike Morrison and Tony, who's working up here tonight, and they got a diver down here, and the diver got it in 10 minutes. She rewarded the guy with $100. Great family. Great day. There's Tom. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah.
I'll get it again. Great time. So I just wanted to make that point. And we're back to many more questions. Lots of people watching. Nearing 100 likes. I can't believe it.
Let's go.
Oh my God. We're going to get to 2 hours here shortly. Boys, you guys are kicking butt. I'll tell you that right now. Sam De La Torre says, oh yeah. And I was blabbing so much, I have no idea what his oh yeah is all about. What is it, Sam? Never mind. Sniper Gene, since Moon's rod will be hard to get for a while, Can you give some recommendations for 8-foot jig sticks for me to go look at? Since you cannot supply the public, no, I'm kidding you.
Well, because me and Randy just work on this jig stick, so it's gonna be hard to get because it's not gonna be in production until. But you know what? He has wonderful jig stick right now in the 8-foot.
80 monster.
Yeah, the 80 monster, even the GP 80 mega. That's an awesome rod. Like I said, I would go with a CE. 800 monster. That's a good start. With a local. He's got like that. Even you want a heavier, he has the Wahoo, the Del Mar. And of course, you got your Cowstar 800L, 800M.
Lot of 8-foot jig.
Lot of them.
That'll work for the surface iron. Yeah.
Oh, and Sam Del Toro has all of it over there at the shop. So
well, Sam, you're getting a lot of plugs here tonight. Your thing was up there also. So don't forget, when I come in, I want I don't know,
some poppers.
Cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
But not at your place. at the establishment of my choice.
Right.
Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Maybe Starbucks. Maybe something else. Who knows? We'll celebrate Vietnamese. When's Vietnamese New Year's?
Same time Chinese New Year.
Oh, okay, perfect. Oh, that's too long from now. I'm not waiting that long. All right, hey, we got a whole bunch of guys. Kay Smith, Chris, they're all coming in now with. It's going to be down to 5.5 months of rock fishing now.
Oh boy.
So it's presently it's 9 months, correct?
Wow.
There's 3 months.
Yeah.
I was going to put the hurt on some people.
Yeah.
Now, so is this based? What is this based on? And a lot of times you hear that term, best available science, which means we don't know what the hell is going on because there's no money to do the studies, and it's based on anecdotal stuff. I know that I don't know if this is true or not, but they knocked the grunion take down to 30 per person. I heard it was based on a woman who did a grunion video thing every year and said, boy, I don't see as many grunion anymore as I used to. And that was the best available. So on the one hand, we want to conserve and we want to protect the resource. On the other hand, we don't want to go crazy where we're hurting people's livelihood and their ability to survive. And with fuel so high and inflation so high, and now you do this, if it's not for solid science, I'm opposed to it. You have an opinion?
No, well, I agree with you. I mean, this is I'm shocked.
We already got really tough regulation this year, right?
Yeah, what is it now? 4 red snappers.
4 red snapper, 1 chucky, something like that. 10 total.
Right.
And now they're cutting the season short. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's going to really hurt the guys.
And the guys, they all laugh about the chucklehead thing. They say, because when you're out there, you're catching tons of chuckleheads.
Yeah.
And they said, we're not even in the chucklehead zone. I can take you right now. We can go catch 1,000 chuckleheads. Yeah. Well, that's bad news, and hopefully there's some recourse to this, but we'll have to see what's going on. Angelo said almost 100 likes, Blackbeard. I think he's making fun of the fact that I dye my beard. Hey! 100!
All right!
Woo! Now we got to go for 200. I missed some of the comment. Oh my God, the comments are going crazy. Now we have somebody else. But excellent source for fishing information here tonight. I have to agree. You gentlemen are cranking on it here tonight. So what does the future portend? What do you see happening in the next month? Is this kelp-patty stuff going to move up here? Is that going to be part of what we're doing? Do you think that it's going to stay? It's not going to stay down there on the border. We've got that south swell. We've got that warm water. We were fishing in 75-degree water yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you remember last year in August, we were fishing kelp-patty off the Tanner Bank, Cortez, and it was loaded with Dorados. Yeah. So they're moving up. They're moving up.
Yeah. And some of you guys, I missed your comments. If you don't mind putting them in again, I would really appreciate it. Just, oh my God, 100 likes, tons of people watching. You boys are absolutely killing it. I'll tell you that right. So what is your favorite type of fishing? What do you like more than anything? I don't think, can I guess? Did we do this last time?
I think we did.
I think it's calico bass.
Yeah. But it's unfortunate. I haven't been able to do it as much.
Yeah, me either.
I've been so focused on this bluefin. It's become kind of an obsession.
Yeah. For many people.
Yeah, and but that is absolutely my favorite species.
Calico bass.
Calico bass, yeah.
Brian Burrell, do you know Brian?
Yes.
Okay, Brian was walking by and he did a whole thing, or a 10-minute segment with me. It's up right now, and I highly recommend you watch because Brian was really crazy tonight. Loved it. So he's like obsessed with bluefin tuna. He says these are long-range size fish in our own backyard. He's going to get the flu, he said, tonight, and not be able to work on the Monte Carlo and be on the Pride tomorrow morning at 10. Yeah. Mike Morrison is a second captain on the Pride, taking his son Benjamin on the trip. So
you know what it is about them that I really enjoy. It's not necessarily the food factor. I know the bluefin tuna. It's really good. Everybody can eat it. It's only me, my wife, and my son, my 8-year-old son.
Yeah.
And we can't eat that much.
Yeah, right.
But what it is, honestly, if you enjoy the act of angling, fishing,
yes.
There's a sense of enjoyment that I take in being on a boat where the captain and crews are working really hard to just hunt these things down.
Yeah.
I mean, we are stalking them, right? And so doing that, and then when you do pull up onto a school, to see them throwing the bait, are they? I like the mystery of the suspense. Are they going to react to the chum or are they not? Right?
Right.
And then they do. Now comes this next part, grabbing the rod and reel, right? Making the right. That is something I really enjoy because
all those steps, right? And the anticipation.
They're such divas, and that's like one of the workshops that I have for fishing clubs.
Yeah.
I call it the good and the not good, but the bluefin tuna fishing and why you should go. But people, it's an experience, and that's the big part of why I enjoy fishing. They're big and that's fun too, but just the challenge.
I want to team up with you on a couple of my speaking things because I can go and I can do the enthusiasm and everything else, and then the real knowledge part I'll turn over to you, which is the most important part of it.
Yeah, that's why to any of your listeners that are part of fishing clubs,
can we bring Moon along too?
Let's bring Moon along. But this is what I enjoy doing. So my 4 workshops, we can we'll you and I will talk more about that. But yeah.
Albert Ponce, 3 words. Great show tonight.
All right.
Thank you, Albert.
Thank you.
Yeah,
he's a prince of a guy. I got to go hang with him in Rosarita Beach. He's got a place down there. My schedule is just full speed, probably until November when my son Patrick gets married in Florida. And then I believe I'm going to go on to Crocodile Bay in Costa Rica and hang out there and do a couple of podcasts. I haven't been in that country for a while, and I lived down there when I was 19 for a year, married Ruth is from there. So. All right, Anthony Amalfitano. Again, do you feel like if we lowered the limit on yellowtail, the fishing would be better? It seems the limit on bluefin is keeping our fishery alive. What do you think?
No.
Yeah, I don't have enough knowledge on the marine biology of that to be able to explain that. But I mean,
well, just on my personal side of catching yellowtail and stuff. When I grew up, like I said, I started fishing bonita and barracuda. I think it took me at least 5 or 6 years on a sport boat to get a yellow,
Yes.
And like having 5 to 10 yellows a day at the island would be a really, really good day. Yeah. And now it's just completely different,
Yes.
Yeah, completely different. So, yeah.
Israel, I'm a big fan of UC rods. I got 5 yellowtail on the Mega 901 on the Monster 900. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Brandon wants to know, Moon and Brian, I always ask our guests this question. Do you think the coffee tastes better in the Vietnamese coffee bar? No. Do you think we will see Albacore this year? I think it tastes better. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Something about, I don't know. We're going to all be getting drunk. Are you guys married?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all going down the drain. You know that, right? Yeah. What, do you think we'll see Albacore this year?
No.
Okay.
Not this year. No.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to agree with these guys. I'm hanging on because I made the dumb prediction again, but things are rapidly going up in smoke. I'll tell you that, right? So, I want a custom rod, and I call you up. Do I have to come and see you? Obviously, I do because you're going to measure me, right?
Yeah, we can.
Can I? What about a guy on the East Coast that wants a rod? You ask him how tall he is and everything? Or? Yeah. You really go through a whole thing, huh?
Yes. Most of the guys, they know what they want and they know the length and stuff like that. Even if I talk to you and you're in the East Coast and I don't see you,
yeah,
the easiest question I ask them is, what is one of your favorite rod that you're comfortable with?
Okay.
Lengthwise, and
Yeah.
we just go off the measurement. That's probably the, if he's far away.
Yeah.
And if they're local, I'll come meet them. They can come meet me, or of course we can meet here, 22nd Street Landing, or at Sam's, Save On, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of fishing?
I like fishing yellowtail on the anchor
You do.
at the islands.
Bait fishing, iron fishing,
Both.
all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the above.
So earlier tonight when we were with Darren upstairs, Darren said, "You know what I love about your show? When you dig in and drill down on what it was that got that person into fishing." So let's start with you. I think we've done it, but we're going to do it again for people who may not have heard it. How'd you get into fishing?
Well,
And where did it happen? You said not in Vietnam, right?
No, it wasn't in Vietnam. Like I said, if you talk to that lady that took her son out, same thing. Once you hit the water and you teach them something, you catch a fish, you're hooked. Like I said, one of my dad's friend took me out on a boat in Redondo, and I was hooked.
And you mentioned that, yeah. Do you think that, how can I put this? Do you think the youth of today would be better served if they got into fishing and the great outdoors? Or is it just a hobby and it has no real profound effect on anybody?
I have a meme
What do
on
you
my
think?
phone, and the meme, it says, "The world needs more tackle boxes and less X boxes."
I agree. That's
No.
a good, I like that.
Yeah.
Never heard
Yeah.
that before.
Fishing. I mean, I didn't grow up in the best of neighborhoods. I didn't grow up in the worst of neighborhoods, but I didn't grow up in the best of neighborhoods, and it's what saved me. I mean, I
Fishing?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I mean, we had a neighbor of ours took us on the Santa Monica Pier, and I remember catching little smelt, and I thought that was the greatest thing in the world, and I kept wanting to go. And all of a sudden, one day after 3 months of doing that and having a blast, one of the guys on the boat on the pier says, "Hey, you guys know that there's boats that can take you out." It was I fished with my brother my whole life.
Yeah.
And we said, "What? A boat?" And so he kind of pointed us in the direction. The first boat that we ever went on was the Matt Walsh.
Oh, really?
Yep, the
Which is
back.
the California out of
California,
Ventura sport
yeah,
fishing?
California.
Fat Matt.
Yeah.
And we both got seasick because we never been on a boat before, but we were young. Our neighbor just dropped us off. There were no checking IDs or anything. Just get dropped off, pay the fare, and go.
Yeah.
But then we really liked it. We said, you know what, we're not giving up. So we went again, and we found out, you can take pills for that kind of stuff. So we did that, and then we kept going and learning, not catching anything, but you'd be
It's a
surprised.
process.
Yeah, the fish that really hooked us, that got us completely just jazzed on fishing was a barracuda.
Really?
Yep.
Just
first one.
because the teeth and
Yeah,
how
that was
long
just
they
exciting, yeah. And when we got that, and then we just kept doing that, and then somebody says, "Hey, you guys know you can go on longer trips, right?" So what? Longer trips? And then we did that, and it just kept on progressing until we ultimately, I mean, we were long range fishermen, but we never forgot our roots.
are. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that we want to, Moon and I, we are both local fishermen just as much as we are tuna fishermen. And I think that a lot of times the tuna, I think I see on forums, it happens quite often. Guys are arguing, with each other back and forth. These are the same guys that go on one long range trip a year.
Right.
Well, we go a lot. We go a lot more than we should, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of how I got my start. But no matter what, I never, one of my styles of fishing is fishing sand bass with lead heads and structure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Love it.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. I think it's definitely a good way to do things as opposed to I only go on one long range trip a year and not Yeah, I mean, you congratulations on a great catch and nothing wrong with that for
Yeah,
sure.
you got a great big fish, and that's awesome.
But yeah, we enjoy fishing. We enjoy being out there, he and I, and that's kind of what we do.
There it is.
Uh-huh.
So I think like fishing a half-day boat, I think that it's like going to grammar school, high school, and going to grad school or whatever when you get on a long-range boat. But you should go through that progression because when you're on a half-day boat, the repetition of casting, of choosing a bait, of finding a hot bait. You go on an Albacore trip and you stop once, you might throw a bait twice. But on a half-day boat, when you're trying to catch a bass, you're constantly searching, and it's that repetition that gets you that muscle memory that really, and then you can apply that as you go up the line.
Yeah, one of the things I teach in one of my seminars, I call it fly lining factuals. One of the things that I teach is how to pick a bait. Because what happens is that people go to a bait tank, Phil and Moon, you've probably seen this, where you're pulling up on a spot and you know it's hopping, right? Guy walks up and he's standing at the bait tank for like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
To find the one, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I teach through experience, of course, is, hey, instead of looking for the one, know which ones are bad. Because the one at that point would stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
That's
So,
right.
there you go.
Absolutely. Brandon wants to know, he said he just bought a CalStar 270 glass. It's my baby. Do you guys sell a lot of glass customs? And have you ever fished glass if you don't sell many?
We fish
Absolutely,
glass.
we fish glass all the time. And you just asked me one of my favorite rods to use is
Yeah.
glass. They're
20
all glass.
pound stick.
Yeah.
Rick Evinger from Marina Del Rey had a favorite saying. I still hear him saying it. Grab some glass and kick some ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, you guys probably heard that, right? Yeah.
And by the way, my first rod, not the first rod I bit was a 196.7, but my first rod that I ordered from somebody was a 270. So.
You know what my first jig stick was?
What?
When we're talking about 8-footers,
Yeah.
right? My first ever jig stick, remember that Barracuda I told you about? That
Yeah,
Memphis?
yeah, yeah.
Was a CalStar 278H.
Oh, wow.
So it's an 8-foot 15 to 40. I could fish 25 and 30 on it.
Yeah.
8 jigs and all that.
Perfect,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe B, I'm jealous. I'm looking for a 270 glass rod. Are they hard to come by?
No, CalStar still makes them.
Yeah.
Yeah, CalStar still makes them.
Travis Bright says, fishing can save your soul. I lost my mom last year, and instead of looking for answers at the bottom of a vodka bottle, I went fishing every day. We got to get these kids outside and off the screens. He's so right.
Agreed,
Take it from a guy who's had his troubles with alcohol. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I can tell you this. When I resorted to doing that, it didn't turn into anything really positive.
Yeah.
In fact, it turned into the worst
Yeah.
time in my life.
Yeah.
But when you redirect to the outdoors or something like that, and in some of these programs they'll tell you, and it seems so counterintuitive because you're such a baby when you're a drunk, but they'll tell you need to frickin' go out and help somebody, and you're like, oh, I'm the one who needs help. My life is a mess, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I need it. And you go out and you help somebody, and then you start looking around and you go, wait a minute, this guy's got cancer. This guy's kid has cancer, and I'm whining because of, and
Yeah.
Travis is right.
One of the things I work with a lot of people who are at the age of in their Medicare years, and one of the things that I tell them, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is take in a little bit of vitamin C. They bring out the bottle. You mean this? I go, no, C, SEA.
There you go.
That is it is it's therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saltwater
therapy.
That Tom Drew trip that I just made,
Yeah.
I was really beat after that Orange County Fair, but you know what? I said, I need a day on the water.
Yeah.
And it was the best thing that could happen because of that family. Tom's always fun. Him and I go at it with one another. Tom, I don't know if you listened to the morning briefing, but Tom was hooking fish after fish, and he lost 4 out of 5 fish, and he yells out loud, "What's wrong with me?" And I go, "Is this a half-day trip?" And he said, "Yeah." And I go, "Oh, I can't tell you what's wrong with you in a half day.
Yeah,
you get a 2-day trip.
Yeah.
I'll," and
Yeah.
he's like, "F you."
No.
So we have a fun time messing with each other, and I needed that. I needed that
Yeah,
vitamin C.
Yes.
I really did.
Yeah, saltwater therapy.
I could have
I mean-
laid in bed and said, "Oh, I'm really tired," and that wouldn't have done me any good.
I went to Belize in 2021
Yeah.
on a family vacation, and we looked at the COVID numbers and how many, what was going on
Yeah.
over there, and we found it wasn't very much.
Yeah.
And we were with our tour guide, and he says it's got to be something with the ocean.
Oh.
And
Who
there
knows?
you go.
Right?
But,
well, I mean, all that
yeah.
fresh air and everything. COVID didn't
Yeah,
spread
just
outdoors.
Vitamin C and saltwater therapy.
So true, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we're all about. All right, John Doe. Hey, Brian, what's your favorite YUNIQ bait?
What's that?
YUNIQ bait. You don't know what that is? Oh, I don't know what it is, but I thought maybe you would.
Unique. I
Oh,
don't know.
maybe unique. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I'm not too familiar with the unique.
Yeah, me either. We don't know, Joe. Brandon, I'm huge fans now, Phil. Moon and Brian are CalStar 270 fans. He's got a heart up there for you two guys.
Yeah.
Be careful. These guys are married, Brandon, so take it easy. Eric Ramos, Moon and Brian join the Island Tackle Boys on the money twilight fishing on Fridays. I never see. Oh,
Yeah,
no, I'm never down
well,
here on Fridays.
Fridays?
Yeah, you gonna do that?
They do Fridays?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I know
so
Sam goes out Wednesday, so
I'm gonna give you a choice here now. See
Okay,
what
go
you think.
for it.
Okay, you gonna go on the Monte Carlo
Uh-huh.
twilight fishing, or come have a cup of coffee with me? Which is it? That's a hard one, isn't
I'll
it?
take the money.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, right,
What
right.
do you do at Starbucks that gets you in trouble?
I'll take the money for 100, Phil.
Everybody out there is going, where the hell do these guys drink coffee?
Yeah, right.
Too funny. Okay, so yeah, I mean, those guys I love those guys at Island Fishing Tackle. It's unbelievable how big their staff is.
Yeah.
Nobody ever walks through that door at Island Fishing Tackle where somebody's not saying, hey, how are you? Well, what do you need? I see it all the time.
Yeah.
That's why when I go down there to do a 5-minute tackle tip with Sam, it takes 6 hours because I'm sitting there waiting for him, and I'm not going to say, hey, quit waiting on people.
Yeah.
And besides, I've got my office there now, so I just sit there and do work, and it's great.
We were sitting in your office today.
Oh, you guys were, but you were messing with Sam, weren't you? All right, Lupe. No one fishes harder than Brian. Back in the day, do you know Lupe?
I think
Lupe
I do, yeah.
Enos.
Yep. I know him, yeah.
Back in the day, we fished the full moon for a white sea bass. He was the only person to catch one clearly over 40 pounds. You remember that?
I think I was on the Freedom, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I do.
All right, perfect.
That was the only fish. on the
Wow.
boat. Yeah, only
Nice.
sea bass.
You
Yes,
must-
it's one of those lovely trips where at the end, where the captain goes, "Okay, guys, well, it's obvious who won the jackpot, so we don't need to weigh that." I'm like, okay.
That's
That
perfect,
was,
right?
It was a 52 pounder.
Yeah, you got to love
right,
that.
yeah.
Who's one of your favorite captains to fish with? Let me get Rambo.
Yes.
Yes, go
Yes,
ahead. Why?
yes.
Why?
Well, he is about as hardcore as, I mean, I think if you looked it up in the dictionary, he would have to be one of the few that
His
are
photo
there.
would be next to
His photo
hardcore.
would be right there. He
Yeah.
fishes very hard. He has a very good feel. He's a good fisherman. I think, that's key, right? You want a good fisherman driving the boat.
You got to have it, whatever
Right.
it is, and some guys don't have it.
Right.
Right.
And
He's got it.
Yeah, and he breaks it down to common sense. I mean, one of the funniest things that he says on the beginning of the charters when we go on, if he sees new faces anyway, he goes, I just love being asked how many grams. He goes, I don't even know what grams are.
Yeah,
You
I
said
know,
come
me
at in
either.
Ounces.
Yeah.
He goes, just get something in front, get something heavy enough to get down to them, and keep it in front of them, and you're good. I
Yeah.
mean, it's nothing too technical, but at the same time, it's sage advice for anybody who's wanting to take it anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he, I asked him once. I says, "Hey,
You should tell everybody what boat he runs
yeah,
and where it's
Rambo.
out.
It's Jim Hughes. He owns the owner operator of the Cortez out of Seaforth Landing, and one of the funniest things that I asked him one year, I says, "Hey, you ever consider retiring?" And he says, "Nope, love this too much."
Yeah,
There you go.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's. I'm feeling the same way about this podcast right now. I was enjoying teaching in China, but I'm really enjoying all of this right now. Retire. I enjoy this.
Yeah.
So when you have a passion like you, yeah, it just keeps you going. And you're being very creative,
Yeah.
so that's also an awesome thing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no question about it.
Yeah.
Steve Bermuda says, God bless America. Maybe talking to
Yeah.
the immigrants who come
Agreed.
in.
Yeah.
And Anthony Amalfitano, when I was 12, I got my first rod. My parents said, we can only get one. My CalStar 278H.
Yeah, there you go.
Got lots of fish on it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lupe agrees with you, by the way. Joe V wants to know, what's your favorite circle hook for tuna?
I like one that I helped I kind of gather information for at the time when I was working for Mustad, but I like the Mustad 39942, which is a 3X strong.
How the hell do you remember all these
Yeah,
numbers?
sorry.
Do you know these? No. Okay.
And then the 39943, which is a 4X strong, but they're what they call the demon circle hook.
Yeah.
It's a round wire hook. Some of the things that we sought out in regards to getting information from noteworthy anglers.
Yes.
But that hook is it's a really good hook. It's not expensive, so you can stock up on a couple of packs and you're ready to go. But what's even better, What's even better with that hook, I mean, you have two companies that make a really small circle hook. Blacktail, which is one of your sponsors.
Yeah, right.
Really small.
Yeah.
And that works. But Mustad also, that 39942, it comes in a 1/0 size, which is a really nice size too for when these bluefin require a small hook.
Speaking of blacktail, do you know Sky also?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What a nice guy.
Absolutely.
I immediately walked in there, and when I met him, I liked the guy right away. Super cool guy, right?
Yes, guy. And by the way, I tell your mom, I'm still waiting for the kimchi.
Oh, really? You got kimchi going?
Oh,
I
his
haven't
mom
got.
makes the best.
Really?
Yes.
I want some.
Yeah, his mom makes the best kimchi. Next time you go in there, ask for some.
You know, I went with this girl. There was nothing going on. Okay, her name is Echo, and so she goes, "Hey, you want to go have breakfast tomorrow?" We were in Quinchon, China. I go, "Yeah." You know, I'm thinking, "Oh shoot, here we go, man. Some real, authentic." Went to Kentucky Fried Chicken, but they had a breakfast sandwich with kimchi, and I ate that, and I thought it was the best sandwich I ever had in my life. It was so good. Kai Fish Killer, any advantage or disadvantages of acid wrapped California standard for conventional rods? CA standard for.
Well, like Brian was saying, you know, it has to do with torque. You know, you don't want, you know, turning when you're fighting, you know, a fish. You know, you don't want the rod to torque in each way. You know, you're fighting the rod and the fish. And if anybody is concerned about an acid rod losing distance in casting, no, you don't. You cast the same distance as a conventional in an acid.
All right, and I missed some of these questions. If you want to put them back up there again, please do, because I see some. Joe V, some San Diego boats showed the 3X getting. Crap, it just went up the thing. It's driving me nuts. Where the hell is that kid? Speaking of Chinese kids, where the heck is Alex? And I'm going to kill him. All right, Tangle Diver. Sounds like an evening in the galley. After 4 years in the Corps, thank you for your service, my friend. In another century, my first sculpin and whitefish trip out on the Osborne Bank touched my soul. Get out there, kids. And once again, thank you for your service. We can't say that enough. Yeah. But he's right? Yeah. I mean, less Xboxes and more tackle boxes. It's so true.
You know, I think one of the things that is difficult is I was just talking to Moon and Darren upstairs when you left us.
No, where did I go? I actually went back and I tried to check and see what time the coffee shop closed.
I'm real big on being able to tell a story. I think that anytime we as adults decide to do business with anybody, it always starts here first before it starts here. And when we talk to our children about this, I think, you know, what I don't want is to just grab my son's hand and go, "We're going fishing tomorrow."
Yeah, right.
I'm building it up. You know, he sees me practicing casting. Heck, recently, we wanted to test out Moon's rods that he just built for me. I put a Top Shot on there with my reels, and I roped it around my son, and he wanted to know what the tuna goes through and how strong they are.
Yeah.
So I had him pull against 25 pounds of drag, and he was still able to take it, but you know, it's things like that. It's that storytelling.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? That's what gets them motivated to go. Because if you're just going to grab your son or your daughter,
you're going fishing.
Well, if they get seasick, guess what? That's the last time they're doing it.
It's over with.
That's it. But if you just explain it to them, hey, this is what's going to happen. My son loved it. We did that harbor fireworks cruise in Colorado. And he absolutely just loved being on a boat.
Darren Dohe was there.
Darren was there.
You guys had a great time.
We had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
So, please, as parents, do that. Make sure you take your kids fishing, but also tell them the story. Tell them what we just shared about how we got started fishing. Tell them why it's important to us. Important, yes, fishing is important to us.
Yes,
otherwise
absolutely.
You wouldn't be here. And share that with them. Share those stories.
100%. 105 likes. Come on, let's go for 125.
Yes.
Let's go, Brandon. Just put your question up again. Hey, Moon, I love my rods. I won on the El Dorado double jackpot. Graphics guy. And Graphics guys throws us $5.
Yeah,
very generous.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. That is awesome. Boys, we're over 2 hours now. Are you getting tired? Should we call this thing quits? Are you ready for... here we go. Moon and Brian. My favorite part of fishing glass is the sensitivity. I have United Composites, you name it. Some odd reason, I get bit the bait swims better. Can Brian and Moon say their favorite outfit? Can you say it or not?
Favorite for
Glass outfit, maybe? I don't know, Brandon. What are you talking about?
Wow. Well, you know, like Brian said, I mean, it's hard to beat on glass. It's hard to beat a 278H. You know,
There you are.
It's so versatile, so it's hard to beat that.
You guys are crazy about that, right?
Well, like I said, my first rod, I caught a lot of fish on that thing. I mean, everything.
Yeah. You know, you talk about the storytelling and the
Yeah.
bringing the kids and all that. I used to do that with my boys. Patrick would ride up here when he was 2 years old, and Philip's like 3 years older. So Philip was 5, Patrick was 2, and Patrick was like 2. He's not fishing that much. You know, maybe I'd hand him something. Although he caught his first friggin' albacore sitting on Alan Girardi's knee. Do you guys know him?
No.
Yeah, I think Alan Girardi's knee on board the Tracer. Steve Thompson was running the boat.
Oh, okay.
He sat there, and Alan he was 4 when he caught his first albacore, like a 20-pounder. Caught a big sea bass. I got a photo with Steve and him on that too. But I'd put him on the bait tank. And obviously I, watch, or I told the guy on the tank, hey, if he falls in the tank, kind of let me know, I remember I went over to Tommy Rothery's house once. You remember him? We ran the... And
The Riddler.
The Riddler. And Riddle's had this frickin', I forget what you call it, but it's a tube that when you go underwater, what do you call that? There's a name for it. So you go under, you can still breathe. And so Patrick goes down to the bottom of the pool, and the bubbles are coming, and he's down there. So Riddler and I are talking, like 20 minutes later, I go, hey, is he okay down there? He goes, oh yeah, I still see bubbles, he's good. I go, oh, thank God. But I used to leave him on the bait tank, and the kid was in heaven. He was just so enamored with the bait, and he'd have bait all the time, and it's that kind of stuff. I mean, it stuck with them because they're both into fishing still, and they love it, and it's become a big part of their life.
Yeah. A good story provides for good dialogue and also allows for inspiration.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Brian, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a personal health benefit advisor who specializes in Medicare. What is that? Phil, why do you like fishing so much? I like it because of wow, really? Can you tell me more? Right? It's in a time and age where communication is done via text, and I'll see you later is done, or late is like L and a number 8. I mean, we shorten everything, but the just the overall communicating with each other seems to be something that we need a lot more of. And yes, more tackle boxes and less X boxes.
100%. I really do love Sam De La Torre. He's a great guy. You guys agree?
Yes.
He's a hard worker. He's a wonderful person, but the bond between us has just skyrocketed. It's at a level now that is unbelievable because of what I'm about to tell you two gentlemen. Sam just contributed $5 for coffee for us.
Right on.
That is Hermano de Alma, or brother. He's a soul brother, Hermano de Alma, or whatever it is. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, I'll be drinking that coffee tomorrow morning at Starbucks. I will have you know. Thank you, Sam. You're number one. You guys know a guy named David Chang?
Yes.
He says, hello, Moon.
What's up, David?
All right. Back to Brandon. Says, favorite part of fishing glass rods compared to others? We only have so many words to use, Phil, when riding.
Yeah.
Well, we did that, didn't we already, though, or no? Did we answer that?
Well, in the day and age of low spectra and fluorocarbon, glass rod does help. It helps a lot.
All right.
Pull hooks.
Albert Ponce, I think you guys should have a seminar on how to get kids off the couch. I think that's, that's not a bad idea.
You know what? I should include that in one of my workshops, Phil, for the fishing clubs.
I would like to do that, too.
Yeah. Because,
I would like to do that.
Yeah, there is a how. There absolutely is a how. And like we both agree, you can't just grab them, say, hey, guess what? We're waking up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. And, well, no, it doesn't work that way. Build them up and have them wanting to go, and not, it's not necessarily telling them that they have to go, but teach them to want to go.
Many people have forgotten this, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but we did the Friedman, or the 976 Tuna Youth Fishing Program. We took over 100,000 kids out in years. Much of that due to Don Ashley at Pier Point Landing, who donated so many trips and helped me in so many ways. And people would say, let's go out and get yellowtail. let's go out and get the barracuda. And I'd go, no, let's stay in the frigging harbor where nobody gets sick. They all get to pull on a mackerel and give them a ton of hot dogs and food and hook them on this.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that when you have novice kids that are 8 years old, I'm convinced that the guys that are saying that, they're the ones who want to go catch the yellowtail. But if you're thinking about the kids, like you said, they get seasick, they're done. You want that first experience to be positive.
Right.
We ate a bunch of hot dogs and screwed around and had candy. I don't know what it was, but it pulled pretty hard. They don't know the difference between a mackerel and a bluefin tuna. And I'm convinced that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Let's see. Steve Bermudez, what improvements can be done? We're not getting out of here anytime soon. Hang on, you guys, just a little longer. What improvements can be done to a reel seat to make it more comfortable? It always seems to dig into your hands after your hands get wet.
Flip it upside down.
Yeah, just turn it.
Yeah, turn it so the threads aren't coming into contact with your hand.
When you get build rod, just ask your builder to flip the reel seat. A lot of the East Coast guys do that, and you don't feel the nerves of the threading, so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Albert, I knew you meant kids, no problem. Joe V, I work at a middle school and tried to start a fishing club, but kids aren't as interested as video games. LOL, I'm gonna keep pushing for it this upcoming year. I did the Bishop Montgomery High School Fishing Club when I was a teacher there. Still have kids that went on those trips. We went to San Clemente Island, and we went on the Redondo boats, and they still remember that. Dave Jacobs is a cop now, and he's like 50 years old. It's weird, and remembers those days as some of the best of his life.
Well, if you
so.
need somebody to come and speak and be able to tell that
Good
story
question.
to them,
Good.
and motivate them to want to go and all that sort of fun stuff. www.mhlis.com. They talk fishing and I talk Medicare. More fishing.
Steve Bermudez wants you to get a 2-letter
Yes.
URL. Don't forget that. Joe, he's right. Brian's right. Don't give up. Do it. You get a couple kids involved, and the word will get out. And this guy, Brian, and I'll come with Brian if he wants me to. I'm all about getting more kids out on the water. Cheech and Low, what do you guys feel about the future of SoCal's freshwater fishing? Getting better or worse? Anybody have an opinion on that?
Unfortunately, I don't do much freshwater. I do fish a little bit, but the bass scene, the swim bait bass, and striper. That's why I like to fish. And the trout's always going to be good at up in Sierras, so yeah.
All right, Brandon, thanks for answering our questions. And he throws us $5 for some coffee.
Excuse me, sir.
Michael Morrison.
Thank you, buddy.
Let me get you water.
Mike.
Thank you, Michael.
Mike,
you.
Mike,
Have a good day.
come here. Say hello to everybody, please. Come over here, right next to
Let me
me.
talk into your microphone.
Yes, please. You can talk all you want. Hey, what's going on here at 22nd Street? It's pretty phenomenal right now.
It's pretty cool.
Speak up, please.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we got one boat going to look for big bluefin, one boat looking for pattyfish, and they might meet in the middle. And tomorrow I'm going on a reverse day and a half on the Pride, and Benjamin's going to catch the biggest tuna of his life.
Oh, that's going to be great. There you go. Kids fishing, right? And he's all about that. If he's not taking Benjamin on that, he's down on the docks fishing with his daughter and his son. So
Oh yeah, they're
kudos to you.
snagging crabs today. So
I heard that. When I walked up, I heard your daughter yelling, "Oh, my crab got away!" or something. Yeah,
nuts.
it was great. Why are you bringing us water? These guys need an oxygen
Because they're
tank.
still talking.
I know. It's only been 2 hours. What's the big deal? Yeah. Well, when's the Freedom Leave? That's when we finish the show.
40 minutes.
Oh, we got another 40 minutes. No, I'll get you out of here.
20 or 36 minutes.
We are getting. Joe B just threw us $5. Brandon, $5. Mike, it's finally coming to fruition.
I gave you water.
I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Let's see. When I go fishing, Israel, when I go fishing, I usually take my GoPro and record my trip, and my kids love watching it. It gets them excited and wanting to go fishing. He's a guy that's dedicated to getting his kids out.
There you go. That's a great idea.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, get
That's
your
a great
kids
idea.
excited about it. You know, the rooster crow in the morning, then Travis Bright with his
So
daughter.
you're saying that
Yes.
tying your 8-year-old son around with 100-pound test on a Moon's jigging rod and having him run back and forth in
Yes.
your driveway?
Yes, excellent idea.
There you go.
And
They
you
get to exercise, get out of the house, you know.
exercise and you save money on babies. No more
Yeah, next time I
babies.
take a picture of Moon, dude, this rod works really good.
You know, we're all going to get thrown in jail. Either for that or the coffee shop. I don't know, whichever comes first. Abraham, as far as that, have you guys noticed the ridiculous prices people are selling Mad Max? Oh, I got some. I'm going to say something. How much were they originally? Because now they are $200. Really?
What are they, 20 or like
Were they?
$32.99,
$39.95.
something like that, right?
$39.95 for the smaller ones.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think I saw those at Sam's Place for that price.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
$5 from Israel.
I know.
Brandon, another $5. Boys, I'm going to retire pretty soon. My 501, whatever it is going through the roof. I'm going to have to talk to you about when I turn 65, my Medicare situation.
Yep,
And we're going to make this all work.
And it doesn't have to be when you're just turning 65. If you have Medicare, we can talk.
Oh, okay.
Because there again, I don't charge a dime for helping people.
Yeah.
I am here to simply, like I said, I'm here to teach people. Teach again, right? There's our word of the night, right?
Yeah.
I'm here to teach people how to control their cost in regards to their health plan, as well as showing them how to use it as a financial tool. So
Yes.
teaching, that's a big part of life.
Yeah,
And,
Moon is starting to move his neck around. I think he's been here too long, right? Teaching is the best thing, right?
Yeah.
How do you give donations to the channel? See that $sign thing down there?
What do they call that? Super chat?
Yeah, I think
What is
super
that? Something
or
like that,
whatever.
yeah.
I think there's a $sign thing down. You see that?
Yep.
I think you hit that, Anthony. Or these guys can tell me, but we deeply appreciate it. It's good stuff. I found them on the East Coast. My sister lives in North Carolina. She was nice enough to find me some in Charleston. But it's silly on those Mad Max, Moon and Brian and Phil.
Yeah.
But they work.
I mean, yeah, they do. And then at the same time, I mean, they
Try
look
pulling something else. back
yeah,
there.
like a little braid products, little Speedy.
Yeah.
It works. An old lure that he made, the Braid Runner, which is an aluminum lure,
Yeah.
that works.
Are they still available?
I know the little Speedy is. I don't know about the Braid Runner, but then again, I'm sure the little Speedies are sold out. At this point,
Probably.
I think people
Yeah.
are just looking for any type of small troll. heavy
That
troll
looks
they can
like-
buy. So
Do they still make Marauders?
I believe they do.
Why wouldn't
Yeah,
that work?
yeah.
That looks like that, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
but I think also, unfortunately, the small Marauders are sold out too.
All that stuff, right? You make a fortune on that. I'd hate to be
yeah.
the guy, though, that's investing on that for next year and then the bluefin disappear for 100 years.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
dang.
you never know. All right, Ruben Lopez. Okay, Phil, Moon, Brian, this is the best show ever.
Thank you.
Moon, I'm telling you, and you were nervous.
Yeah.
And I knew you were because when he was giving you advice upstairs, you'd go like, okay, and I could see your brain was somewhere else. You're like thinking, I don't want to be on this crappy show. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And we're not
Thank you
through
for
yet
having me.
because
Thank
I don't
you for
leave a
having me.
question up there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you out of here now. I can see
No
your
problem.
fatigue. We got Mike Morrison coming in with water to get us through this. So here we go.
Ed.
Oh, I know. Kai Fish Killer, I found out from Dan Hernandez. Google takes 15 to 20%. Is there another place to donate to? I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
And we can take donations for our Mexico thing. We'll get into that another time because if we get into it tonight, we're never going to get out of here. Gary Kwan, can we get kids to play fishing video games, graduate to a fishing simulator, and then the real deal?
I'm
What do you
not
think
really
about
sure.
that?
I took my son recently to Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
And inside there they had the the Wicked Tuna
Wicked
game.
Tuna game.
And he liked it. He liked it an awful lot. But then again, I would I guess it fulfilled one fantasy of his, which is catch a shark, and he got a 1,400-pound great white shark on there. I don't
Oh,
know if
sure.
that's just in the video game, but. Yeah, I mean, it's something.
I
But
don't-
it's still a video game, and Xboxes, tackle boxes, but my son, I've got him primed, and he wants to get out on a boat, and we're gonna go. Weather willing, of course.
Yeah.
August, we're gonna head out
Windy.
here. August 16th, we're gonna fish on a Monte Carlo. And,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think hopefully Brian will be on there.
I hope
Yeah.
so. He's very entertaining.
Yeah. But that's what we want to do, and he's jazzed.
Awesome.
He can't wait. He asks me every other day. It seems like, are we
That's
gonna go
awesome.
fishing? When are we going again?
That's
So,
great.
happy,
You gotta love that, right?
I do very much.
Because your son, I mean, that'll keep you together forever,
Yeah.
like it has with my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And Brian, I highly recommend you listen to the video we did. It's a 10-minute video, and he's hilarious. He's passionate about fishing,
Yeah.
always. He's really, really great, and I think you'll enjoy it. And plus, well, just check it out. The Monte Carlo has 2 tanks of squid, by the way. So call Mike Morrison and tell him you're listening to Freedman Adventures, and you want to go on the boat with the live squid. All right, let's see. Hey Moon, what do you think of UC CE 1000?
C1000 mag.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
says, that's all it says.
Oh.
You may want to clarify that, John
Yeah.
Doe, please.
Yeah.
Sam De La Torre, he's still with us. It's all downhill from here, Phil. Moon is easily in the top 2% of guests available in Southern California. I'm screwed, huh?
Yeah.
This is it? This is the apex of interviews? Oh my God, Moon.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, I guess Sam is not up at the top, huh? We'll have to continue to watch this. All right, Kai Fish Killer. John, which CE 1000? I have the Del Mar. Oops, it's just gone too fast. So true, Sam. Joby, create a Venmo. Okay, people can Venmo. Hey, I think we're out of here almost. Brandon just sent $1. All right,
Okay.
boys, how do we get in touch with you? And if there's another question, I'm going to ask it. But we're trying to wrap it up now because you boys have been
Bull
so
Custom
patient.
Rods on
And you know-
Instagram. Okay.
And I have to go to the bathroom again. No, I don't. I actually do. And Brian, you got both things, the fishing thing, but you also can help people who are at that point in their life. They're a little
either
bit
have it,
elderly
who
like
either-
me.
yeah, who either
Most-
have Medicare or getting into their
Yes.
Medicare. But what I'm really here to do is, to share 20-some years of experience in the fishing tackle industry. And one of my biggest passions right now is going out and talking to fishing clubs. I'm not here to tell you that I'm an expert in anything, and I'm not here to tell you I am the greatest fisherman in the world. What I am here to tell you is I'd like to teach people not to be that guy on the boat.
Yes.
And there's the 4 workshops that I have going on. If you have a fishing club, please, I'm happy to come out and talk to you. As you can see, I can work some angles and get some giveaways. Like tonight, I was hoping that Phil was going to get. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, really.
I'm just
109
glad,
likes.
Yeah, and you can contact me. You can find me on my website. I'm at www.mhlis.com.
All right, beautiful. And let me see here. See if I can do this. I'm going to do the drawing. I'm going to do that right
Yeah.
now. But let's see. We got. Thanks, guys. Great show. Let me shut this because that looks like crap up there. Doesn't it? How do I do that? Somebody help me, please. All right, here we go. I'm just shutting that down, then I'll do my gotta. All right. Great show, guys. Everybody's loving you too. And Sam, and somebody's asking, when's Sam going to go fishing with us? Sam, are you going on the Malahini on August 19th? We'd love to have you there. Kay Smith, thanks, guys. Great show. Okay, now I got this screwed up, but here we go. My wheel is spinning. Israel De La Cruz is the winner, and he's
here
been
you go.
on here a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Right? So show him what he won there,
Yeah,
Brian.
congratulations, Israel.
He's a great Israel.
Israel, you get 10, and I mean.
Oh my
10.
God.
Oh my.
10-piece bluefin jigging set startup kit. The jigs are there, and you get the little pouch, the handy pouch that comes with it. This is a pouch made by Sea Falcon, which is another company that makes really nice jigs that are applicable, slow pitch and speed jigs. And the jigs here come unrigged, just because there's a bunch of different ways to do it. And for information, I've included my contact information. It's got my 2 favorite species on there too, Phil. A
Yes.
yellowtail and a yellowfin. And You flip this out, guess what? The Royal Polaris knot. If you wanted to some information.
Perfect.
On how your spectrum of fluorocarbon or mono connections, but that's what you've got coming to you, and I wish you all the best of luck this season. This kit's got everything for daytime and nighttime fishing. You are ready to go.
Israel are, and I'm going to be down in San Diego on the 18th, 19th, so I can bring it to you. Or are you mailing, or I'm mailing it, right?
Yeah. I just figured, yeah.
Either way, you let me know. You can send me a note or whatever. He says thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you
Yeah.
for tuning in.
And everybody's congratulating him. Cheech and Low, awesome show. Thank you for your time, guys. Sam De La Torre is going on the Malahini, so that'll be great. Brandon, great job. And our friend Israel is thrilled to death. Boys, 2.5 hours of nonstop chatting with Phil Friedman. You guys will go straight to heaven now because nobody can put up with
Or
this
the coffee shop.
kind of torture. Yeah, the coffee shop. Better yet, boys. I love you.
Thank you.
Fantastic show. 110 likes. We just went up one more. And a lot of people are stoked about tonight's show, including yours truly. I can't thank you both enough for being here.
More coming.
Do we need to give contact number one more time or not? Are we good? If you want to, you can do it.
www.mhlis.com is where I can be reached for all your fishing questions and sometimes Medicare too.
And a lot of people up there just saying, great show, to which I agree. All right,
Thank
say
you,
goodbye,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Hold on, I'll get this.